Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Thursday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer Mark the Shark. General, we have navigated our way to a Thursday, second day of May, and your Columbus Crew are heading to the final back down in Mexico. What's going on, man? Good to talk to you.
Hey, how you feeling about that, Beamer?
Hey, I would have been feeling a lot worse if I went to bed around 1:30 last night and they lost. But tell you what, Bob, I feel pretty good. I mean, adrenaline and some caffeine is going to help me just move right on through, make this the quickest 3 hours of my week.
Give me the quick and dirty of the game.
Quick and dirty in the game, going into the game.
What do we call the start of a soccer game? The kickoff?
Yeah, kickoff. Going into the kickoff, I'm like, all right, you know that they're going to press, right? I mean, they need a goal as much as you need a goal because they were down on aggregate heading into this game at home. By the way, their stadium is tremendous. Their field is awful. Is absolutely.
So great stadium, bad surface?
Really bad surface, Bob. Like in the first 5 minutes of the game, I mean, all chunks of the field were just ripping up. Like it was really bad. So
like Soldier Field?
Worse. Like actually worse.
That's not possible.
Yeah. Hey, man, go back and look at it. Like by the end of the game, there's divots all over the place. So you knew Monterrey was going to come out and really charge like at the beginning of the game. And I thought to myself, I'm like, if you can stave off them in the first 20 minutes, if you can find it at 0-0, then you'll be feeling good about the situation. Well, 10 minutes in, Monterrey goal. I'm like, okay, Monterrey up now.
We need one, the equalizer.
So you have 8. The good news and bad news in that is that you gave up the goal. You look a little bit shaky. The good news is you have 80 minutes to get a goal.
Yeah.
So wasn't feeling too bad. Kind of figured that was probably going to happen. If anybody was going to get the first goal, it was going to be Monterrey. Game is being played. Monterrey has some really good chances. Crew kind of just playing in a shell, playing with the ball, playing possession early on in the game, kind of through the half. Don't look to be really dangerous. They're playing like a lot of side balls from back to back and side to side. And then at the end of the half, Bob, I mean, there's 4 minutes of added time. It's like the 48th minute and 30th second. Monterrey's goalie has the ball, and he just kill the half, right? I mean, if you're not going to release like a quick outlet for them to do a counterattack, just kill the half. And so he decides to throw it. Aiden Morris sees it coming from a mile away, decides to like charge the throw, gets onto the end of the throw, goalie's out of position. He navigates his way through 2 defenders. So immediately going into the half now, instead of feeling bad about being 1-0 down, it's 1-1. You come out in the second half, and Diego Rossi scores a goal within the first 5 minutes of the second half.
There we go.
2-1.
Good.
2-1.
We're back in it, Beam.
And then they just became slime balls for the second half. They were on possession. They were getting fouled. They were laying down. They were doing everything that usually the Mexican teams do. And that's what the Crew did for the majority of the second half. Beam. That's right. Win in Rome, win in Monterrey. And then Jason Russell-Rowe comes on as a late substitute. Boom, puts in a goal. 3-1. See you later. See you in the final.
I mean, why did they stop there? Why didn't they go?
They got a penalty kick at the very end to make it 4-1, and Christian Ramirez had it saved.
You said something about needing to win by like a goal margin of like 4 or 5 to get the home game.
Yeah,
let's lean into it, Beam.
They tried.
Lean into the win.
They got the penalty at the end.
It's not really possible, though. I mean, I'm just hoping to make it through.
Stu Holden, who was on the broadcast, was like, boy, 3-1 is already embarrassing for them. 4-1 is like the worst performance they've ever had.
How many of those players do you think in Mexico are going to get murdered after the game?
Yeah, none.
You sure about that? I don't know. I don't know, Beam. There may have been some of the some of the cartels down there may have had a couple shekels on this one.
Oh, they could have. And the Crew just went into their house and planted the flag. So City of Monterrey now, Tigres a couple of weeks ago, now Monterrey. Unbelievable stuff.
So do they know who they're playing?
They are playing Pachuca, who has...
Cuckoo?
We'll get into that coming up in our next segment. They are also a big dog down there.
Of course, they're in the championship. Man.
Yeah, but the Crew doing something that no team in MLS has done before last night. So that was pretty awesome. It was well worth it. It was well worth staying up till 12:15, 12:20 Finally got to bed around 1, so I got about 3 hours.
In that World Series game I stayed up for back about 7 years ago, Shark.
I got about 3.5 hours, so I'm not too bad. But it was a thought in my mind, and I was in such a bad place then immediately thinking about this. I'm like, this is when Shark usually like gets ready to go into work. I'm like, that is awful.
Just came in and took a nap on the floor.
I probably could have. I was thinking about just sleeping on the couch last night. Said, you know what, I'm going to go up to bed. I'm going to kick Theo out of my spot.
Did you watch the game with Billy?
No, Billy slept all the way through the night last night, which means one thing and one thing only. He's going to refuse to take a nap for me today.
That's good.
Yeah, it'll be all right, man. It is what it is. We got an awesome, He's making like monster noises now because he's like throwing his voice and making new sounds, and his favorite one now is just
Oh, he's rattling the cage. Let me out of here.
He's drooling.
You can't get this.
Looking like a crazy person. We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. A lot of crew talk. We'll do it here in the next segment. Kind of the history that the crew made last night and what it means moving forward for them. So we'll do that coming up here in our next segment. What's at stake this offseason for the Blue Jackets? We'll check in with Mark Scheig of the Hockey Writers coming up here at 6:35. Do a little bit of that. The Ohio State All-NFL team is absolutely loaded. We'll do that coming up here. Top of the 7 o'clock hour. Marv and the NFLPA kind of have a little spat, but it's not with the NFLPA. It's more with Fanatics. We'll get into that in the 7 o'clock hour as well. Biddle of Bucknuts, he's going to join the program. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him. And then we will duel at dawn coming up around 8:20 a little bit later on this morning. So tons to get into today before we do anything. It is Thursday, the 2nd day of May, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bobo, what do you got lined up for us this morning, buddy?
Oh, it is Thursday, May 2nd, 123rd day of the year, 243 days remaining in this 2024. This date's 1611. The first King James version of the Bible is published, Beam, in London, England.
And then it was later got by, what's the movie with Denzel where he's blind?
Oh, Book of Eli?
Then it was garnered by the Book of Eli.
Yes.
And the, what's his name, gets it at the very end, but he can't read it because it's in Braille.
There you go.
It's a great turn of events.
It really is.
I watched that movie for the first time. I'm like, he's blind?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a little sixth sense.
It is. That's cool.
Sensuous at the end. This date, 1906. The closing of the 1906 Intercalated Olympics in Athens. It's what is known really as the second modern Olympics that they were able to kind of kick off there in Greece. So that comes to a close. This date, 1920, first game of the Negro National League Baseball is played. Do you know where?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Shark, you have any idea?
The first game for the Negro Leagues.
Mm-hmm.
What year?
1920.
That was in Pittsburgh.
Close. Other way on 70.
Columbus.
Yeah. From Columbus.
Other way.
Indianapolis. We're sitting right there in the middle of it, Beamer.
Well, I thought you meant 70 west on Pittsburgh. I would have also said Columbus on the follow-up.
I was thinking from Columbus. I mean, Columbus, Shark, the real pivot man in the situation right there that you're talking about.
A double pivot.
Absolutely. This day, 1954, Stan Musial hits his 5th home run of the day. Now, it was a doubleheader, so it wasn't in one game, but five dongs in one day, Beam.
Think about that, Dinger Tuesday.
I think if that was just a Dinger Tuesday, you'd be stacking cash. This date, 1970, Diana Crump is the first female jockey to participate and ride at the Kentucky Derby.
Nice.
1986, I might go back and watch this, Beam. The city of Chernobyl is evacuated 6 days after the explosion.
Yeah, you were out last week. Shark was talking about the Chernobyl reactor obviously having a meltdown. And
yeah, that's Friday.
Yeah, it's a really good show. It's depressing, obviously, but it is it's very good. And we still don't know like the actual fallout.
I mean, the Soviet Union hit all those numbers and everything that was real, but yeah, I mean, they had to build that giant containment facility around it. I mean, had to redo it again later. There was a risk of a lot of issues in Western Europe, not just in the Ukraine, everywhere going on. And then they're fighting a war there, shooting bombs off around and everything else with the Russians. Just absolute insanity. This date, 2005, Cream reunites after 36 years. Shark, you know who's in Cream, the front man?
No.
Shark nose.
Got a slow hand. Eric Clapton.
He also likes cocaine. Maybe.
Likes Layla also.
Well, together.
I would have got, if you would have said that, I would have gotten it.
This day, 2011, the man behind the 9/11 attack, Osama bin Laden, is hunted down and killed by the United States Special Forces.
Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children. It was nearly 10 years ago that a bright September day was darkened by the worst attack on the American people in our history. The images of 9/11 are seared into our national memory. Nearly 3,000 citizens taken from us. On that day, no matter where we came from, we were united as one American family. We were also united in our resolve to protect our nation and to bring those who committed this vicious attack to justice.
There we go.
Never forget that press statement.
President Obama talking about the killing of Osama bin Laden right there. And then 1 year later, Beam, your guy, the dancing little sprite, Lionel Messi, for Barcelona, scores his 68th goal to break the European single-season scoring record.
Oh, my.
It's not a small number of goals, Beam, but rather a quite large number.
And I think in the calendar year of that year, so that was just in a season.
Yeah.
Like in the calendar year, I think he scored something like 98 goals or something
between
crazy.
Friendlies and everything else. Oh, yeah. There we go. It's really racking and stacking. Some birthdays today. Donatella Versace turning 69. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson turning 52.
I'm going to go get something to eat. When The Rock goes out to get something to eat tonight in San Diego, should The Rock sit in a booth or should The Rock sit at the bar or should The Rock sit at the head of the table? If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
I mean, that's the WWE that I'm here for.
Of course. And then not dressing up, but playing the demigod in Moana.
Oh,
that's also The Rock.
Oh, he's tremendous.
I guess that's more Dwayne Johnson than The Rock.
Yeah, it's tremendous there.
Most electrifying man in show business.
It really is. Turning a big 52 today. Bend it like Beckham. David Beckham turning 49 today.
Big Becks.
Absolutely. I saw a little video of Pat McAfee bending it like Beckham yesterday outside the Thunderdome. Had a nice one that he curved on in there, top right corner beam on a nice set piece. The guy they called the janitor back in the day in the NBA, Brian Cardinal, turning 47 years old.
You ever watch the video of Brian Cardinal? Like, people would talk trash to him all the time. He's like, let's play one-on-one. It's like, don't forget I played in the NBA. And he would just mow people down in a one-on-one game.
Just because he looks like the janitor doesn't mean that he's not good.
Right.
Played 12 years NBA championship with Dallas in 2011. NASCAR driver Kyle Busch turning 39 today. And then the guy I mentioned before, turning the big 37 today, Mr. Patrick McAfee.
This is just a few months ago when he was giving his prediction for the SEC championship game.
What's that coming down the track? It's the mean machine in the red and black. Ain't nothing finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go dogs, go dogs. Give me Alabama to break up.
Turned full heel at the end.
Yeah, he did.
Drug him all the way there, Beam, on a leash.
That was one of the best scenes to come out of the college football world this past year.
He was right.
He was right.
Some passings today. Leonardo da Vinci passing away on this date, 1519.
Your guy.
Absolutely. J. Edgar Hoover, one of the smartest guys in the history of the world, Beam. J. Edgar Hoover, Sharks guy, first director of the FBI, passing away in 1972. Norm Van Brocklin passing away in 1983. Won a NFL championship for the Philadelphia Eagles. And so this last Super Bowl, that was their last one, I believe, in 1960. Former Bills QB Jack Kemp passing away, and Senator, I believe, out of New York in 2009. And then obviously Osama bin Laden dying in 2011. Some holidays and observances. Today we've got Baby Day being Brothers and Sisters Day, Harry Potter Day,
nice,
Scurvy Day, National Day of Prayer, National Day of Reason, National Fire Day, National Life Insurance Day, Play Your Ukulele Day, National Truffles Day, World Password Day, and World Tuna Day. And those are historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date. May 2nd, the 123rd day of the year, with a mere 243 days remaining in this 2024.
Very well done on that, General. As always, your Columbus Crew made quite a bit of history down in Mexico last night. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning to you. Right now, as you're heading out, no major crashes to let you know about. We are seeing busy traffic up near the Polaris area on I-71 and on the far west side as you're coming into that 270 outer belt. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Working your way through that honey-do list? More flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Call the Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
There's a little slice of heaven in a mountain town escape. A pace of life that's less hurried, more authentic, where people greet you with a smile, and experiences feel down to earth, yet elevated. From Appalachian art to wineries and craft breweries, live music to a lively spirit. This is West Virginia. We call it Almost Heaven. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
Tyler from Wendy's here. The best part of Wendy's Cinnabon Pull-Apart is every part, especially if you get it with a small coffee or soft drink for just $5. Get to Wendy's for a Cinnabon Pull-Apart today.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. Cinnabon is a registered trademark of Cinnabon Franchisor SPT, LLC.
I'm betting once a week, and then now I'm betting twice a week.
Only on 10, he started placing bets on his phone.
At first I was doing it for fun, and then I'm chasing losses. You lose, you chase, you lose, you chase. So I'm lying to my fiance. I tell myself I can handle it, I can handle it, I can handle it.
Only he couldn't. His story of tragedy and recovery everyone who gambles online should see.
If you don't put your hand out for help, no one ever knows you need help.
Tonight at 6 on 10 TV.
Jeopardy is on a hot streak with runaway games, high scores, and can't-miss moments.
I've always had nightmares about doing this, Ken. True Daily Double, please.
Oh, that's the spirit.
As this game heats up,
what is the secret of being a world-class Jeopardy player?
Everyone's asking,
could we be witnessing a new super champ in the making?
Find out.
All right, we got a tight game.
On Jeopardy.
Weeknights at 7 on 10 TV.
The Buckeye Show.
What were you guys yelling on the Brack Spin play, 2015? The payback game against Virginia Tech.
You know what I said? He's back. He's back. That's what everybody was saying.
The Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Schottenstein Roofing and Care Source.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
If you're about to get engaged or ready to walk down the aisle, your true love deserves a true jeweler, the Diamond Seller. As a true jeweler, we not only have designer collections to meet your bridal needs, but we also have talented in-house designers who can create something truly one of a kind. Visit the Diamond Seller today.
Save big money on your next project now at Menards. Protect your cars, trucks, and more with Shelter Logic carports. A 10x20 auto shelter is made with UV-treated fabric that withstands the elements. Plus, its heavy-duty steel frame is stable and durable. Hurry in. It's on sale through May 5th. Save big money on Shelter Logic products and check out more great deals happening now in our weekly flyer on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
Is foot pain keeping you from living life to its fullest? Life is too short to be dealing with foot, knee, or back pain. Come into the Good Feet store and learn how the Good Feet Heart Support System can help you get pain-free. Call 880-9255 or go to goodfeet.com to make an appointment.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
80s again expected for this afternoon. In fact, a couple of degrees warmer than what we saw yesterday. A mix of sun and clouds and the possibility for a pop-up shower or storm this afternoon. Those chances continue into the evening, fading some as we start Friday, but rain chances will pick back up throughout the day. Shower and storm chances continue throughout the day Friday and into the start of the weekend, cooling temperatures. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
Thursday edition of the program. Brandon B, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. I went to bed around 1 o'clock last night. I say, at least we're 21 minutes into the show. It could be derailed here momentarily at any point in time.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good, man. I can't even lie. I know that those boys in the black and gold last night, too, that are currently either sleeping or still partying down in Monterey feel pretty good, too. Because you went into Monterey's house, Bob, and I thrashed them 3-1. What more can you ask for?
I mean, how good are you feeling going back down to Mexico, though, now, Bean?
I'm just going to enjoy this today. I'm going to enjoy this probably for the rest of the week, and then we'll get to Pachuca in a minute. We'll get to Pachuca when we get to Pachuca.
What is that game going to be?
That game is going to be...
That's just a one-off.
That is a one-off. So
why do they do it like that? They play home and homes for all of them, aggregate goals, and then for the championship game... I understand, like, getting the second game at home or the first, whichever one is.
Yeah.
Which do you think is more advantageous, playing the second at home or the first?
Second.
Second, because you go to extras, PKs.
And you just know, you know what you need to do, and the fans know what you need to do. I think it would be more advantageous for that. I don't know why. I mean, it's a thing, right? I mean, when you have to look back when the Crew hosted MLS Cup, right?
Yeah.
Like, they hosted it was a one-off. And so now you're going to have to go and knock off Pachuca in a one-off leg, one-off final as well down there. So last night, game gets started. It's 1-0 in the first 10 minutes, Monterey. I'm like, okay, it's not the worst thing in the world. You knew at some point that they were going to get a goal, and you knew that they would come out as fire-breathing dragons like in the first 20 minutes.
That sounds nice.
That's what they were going to do. And then, because it was 2-2 at that point on aggregate, but they had the road goal, the game downshifted immediately. Like, the first 10 minutes were crazy. I mean, it was back and forth. We had opportunities. They had big opportunities. And so then Monterey said, okay, you know what? We're more built to play, not park the bus, but we're going to sit. We're going to let the Crew possess. We're going to let them move the ball around, and then we're going to catch them on the counterattack. Like, that was kind of their strategy now moving forward since they had the lead. And at one point, Bob, they had pressed so far up, the Crew did, that it was just a barrage of Monterey counterattacks, like over and over and over. And that place would have blown the roof off the stadium.
Go up 2-0,
if they go up 2, right? And so they were able to stave that off. But the wild part was at the very end of the half, and I know we talked about this right at the beginning of the show, at the very end of the half, Monterey's keeper is trying to play like a quick outlet pass, and he waits on it for a couple of seconds. And in a couple of seconds, I mean, with those guys, and
you love a good mistake in the back end, being
of course,
in your own zone.
Yeah, that's really good. So he again probably is holding on to this ball, holds on for 2, 3, 4 seconds too long, and like at that time, for anybody who's a professional athlete who are as twitchy as these guys are and have the vision, like that's an eternity. So Aiden Morris sees exactly where the Monterey goalkeeper is going to pass the ball. And so Monterey goalkeeper throws it out about 20 yards. And Aiden, by the time that ball's already released, is like crashing down on the ball. So he gets it momentum running towards goal.
Jump, Beam.
Gets a good jump on the ball. It's like a pick six, right? Like, just imagine that. Aiden Morris in the midfield sees it. All right, pick six, boom, I'm going to go the other way. splits 2 defenders, goalie's off his line already. I mean, right 10 seconds before the halftime whistle blows. So instead of them going up 1-0 in the half, dominating it, having the better opportunities, forcing the Crew to kind of go back to the drawing board, go back to the whiteboard. What do we need to do to get a goal in the second half? How do we break these guys down? It is 1-1. And at that point, I'm like, boy, that could really break Monterey's spirits because they dominated the first half, I thought. Yeah. Even though they didn't have a lot of the possession, they dominated the game. So you go into halftime 1-1. You're feeling really good now because if Monterey scores a second goal and that game ends at 2-1, you're going into extra time, right? So they need 2 more goals on top of that if they want to beat you in a regular 90 minutes. 5 minutes into the second half. Stunning display of Wilf ball. Stunning display. You have Alex Maton gets onto the ball, passes it, a couple of passes back in the midfield. Boom, Diego Rossi goes on a run, open one-on-one with the goalie. It's 2-1. At that point, then Monterey needs to score 3 more goals. They get a third one at the end. It's all celebration from there. I mean, it was as dominant of a display, and you like picture the scene in Batman where Bruce Wayne's up. Bane's got him lifted up over his head, and he kind of breaks his back. That second goal by Rossi was the backbreaker, and then everything else was...
I mean, now if you're Monterey, I mean...
You had to score 3.
3 goals. Like, that's almost insurmountable at that point.
There was 40 minutes for them to do it, but it then became death by 1,000 paper cuts for the Crew.
But you were up 1-0, and now you're down 2-1. Like, they have just scored 2 on you.
Yep.
That psychologically had to be devastating. When you're up 1-0, you're feeling good, try to get that second goal, and then all of a sudden the tables are flipped and you're in a bad spot.
So what did that game last night mean? The Crew were the first team in MLS history to go in and win away legs in Mexico in back-to-back series. So first MLS team to ever do that. First MLS team to ever knock out Monterey in the Champions League. Well, it's now called Champions Cup, but it used to be called the Champions League. First MLS team to ever knock them out. Like they have never been, they were 7-0 going into last night against MLS teams in knockout stages.
Nancy getting it done.
And then what else does it mean? You become only one of very few teams to play now for a Champions League. Seattle won it back in 2022. You have an opportunity now.
So Seattle has won.
Seattle has won. They're the only other team in MLS history to win it. Yes.
So they didn't beat a team, though, in Mexico?
Not in back-to-back legs.
Okay.
Not in back-to-back legs. So they must, and I don't know, I wasn't.
Because I was bringing this up, and somebody was, I thought there was an MLS team that won this before. I was like, well, I think the Crew might be the first ones to do this. But
yeah, so Seattle did it a couple of years ago, but not going back-to-back Mexico for back-to-back second legs like that.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if they played a first leg at home or...
How about a third leg Greg?
Yeah, how about him?
My man G. Ray.
So now you get to Pachuca in the final where you got to go down there. Pachuca is undefeated in Champions League finals, Champions Cup finals. They're
they played.
They're 5-0.
It's pretty good.
That's a pretty good record. But hey, you're knocking on
Crew's undefeated too.
You're knocking on some rarefied air.
Never lost
right now. So that game will be played, Bob. Originally, it was supposed to be played on Sunday, June 2nd. Now, I think CONCACAF is going to have to move. They're going to move off of that date, because that's the day of the Mexican presidential election. So
who cares about that?
But just CONCACAF's just they said, you know what, it was a bad idea to us. We're just going to move. We're going to move it.
Well, because they were planning for an All-American final.
Exactly.
I mean, that thing's fixed.
They were planning for an LA Miami final, and you get the Crew.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that thing's fixed down there anyway. You got the cartels there at the election offices, standing there with their AKs. I mean. Are people really voting in Mexico, Shark? You told me that thing's a banana republic anyway.
So the Crew heading down to Pachuca for the final. It will be the first weekend of June. We're just not exactly sure what day that's going to be. I guess they could move it to the second weekend in June as well. But most likely it's going to be that Saturday, June 1st. So a month from now is when they're going to be playing in the final. What's at stake this offseason for the Blue Jackets? Mark Scheig of the Hockey Writers. He joins us to chat about that next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and a happy Thursday to you. Right now, heading out the door, no crashes to let you know about. On 71, we are seeing a little bit of activity up in the Polaris area and things picking up on 33 westbound on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors, voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Hey there, friends. Bo here. You planning that summer vacation? Skip the long lines in the crowded cities. Get away in an RV from my friends at RCD RV. Summer nights will soon be calling, and RCD RV is here to take your camping experience to the next level. They provide the best brands, the best service, awesome after-sales support. They are family-owned and operated in Central Ohio for over 50 years. You will feel it the second you walk on one of their lots. Over 650 new and pre-owned RVs in stock. 3 locations to serve you in Central Ohio or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
Attention all shoppers, get ready for unbelievable savings at Midwest Vapors. Our shelves are packed with incredible deals and our clearance section is overflowing. From premium cigars to disposables, Midwest Vapors has slashed prices across the board. Don't miss out. Swing by Midwest Vapors today and stock up on your favorites at an incredible price. Midwest Vapors, where quality meets affordability. Visit Midwest Vapors today at 2344 Stringtown Road in Grove City or online at MidwestVaporsOhio.com.
I'm Kelly Burris, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and the hoops action is heating up, and Tipico Sportsbook is the best place to bet on the playoff action. Enjoy the most rewarding sportsbook with the hottest promos. Bet on select games. Earn a bet credit for each three-pointer made. Continue to rack up the rewards with the highest cash back in the industry with up to 5% cash back on your bets. Sign up now. Enter the promo code TheFan100 to get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $25. Download the Tipico Sportsbook app today. That's promo code TheFan100. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Join us for gambling things, fantasy sports, gambling things, and most importantly, gambling things. Hollywood Casinos on the Money, Sunday morning at 9.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter here for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone and hormone replacement therapy game. And weight loss too, that's right. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their testosterone treatments so you can lose weight and build muscle. They customize a plan directly for you. They added peptides to my TRT. They've added semaglutide with my friend's testosterone, and the results are amazing. They're pumped about summertime and pool season, so check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. We can help ensure you'll have a reliable income stream in retirement, locking in gains and avoiding downturns in the market. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Hi, this is ESPN's Mike Greenberg, and ESPN Bet is ready to take you through all the biggest sports moments this spring. The official sports book of ESPN has exclusive offers and markets from Scott Van Pelt, Stephen A. Smith, and me. From the playoff intensity to finally getting out to the ballpark, there's no better time for sports fans. Sign up today, and new users get $100 in bonus bets for making any sportsbook bet. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play.
Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Something amazing is happening in education. Students are inspired and engaged. That's because school districts consulted with CDW, who designed modern classroom solutions with pre-configured HP devices, making learning more accessible, secure, and immersive. Now when students study topics like elephants, it feels like elephants are there with them. HP and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/HPPSG.
The Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
Here's along here, Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Right now, we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline check with our good friend of the hockey writer. See, is Mark Scheig. Mark, thanks for the time, buddy. Always appreciate you waking up and dropping some intel on us here this early in the morning. It seems like a pretty big offseason for the club, Mark. Obviously, you get the new general manager who's going to be coming into town, but fan base was great this year after another kind of a disastrous season. But you think that this is like they're kind of at a crossroads right now as an organization?
Yeah, good morning, guys. And yeah, I do think that they are. As you said, the general manager situation is one that everybody's watching. They have to get this one exactly right. I mean, to understand the difference between getting a hire like this right and getting a hire like this wrong cannot be understated. If you get it right, the Blue Jackets have the chance to finally reach their potential for what they can be, what the city could be, how the city would respond to them. As we've seen little bits and pieces of how good it can be around Nationwide Arena. If they don't get this right, though, they could set themselves back even further. So they have to take their time. They have to get it right. And, yeah, everyone in Columbus is waiting, and everyone in the hockey world is waiting to see which direction they go.
So what direction do you think they go, Mark? I mean, are there some names out there, people you think that would be potentially interested in this, that would be good general manager candidates? And then with that, I mean, is it assured that they will be also bringing in a new coach?
Those are two really good questions, Bobby, because on one hand, with the general manager search, the team has already said that they want to keep it quiet, and they have, because on a national level, sometimes you start to hear rumblings of names. Mm-hmm. We really haven't had that yet. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't a lot of people that are interested in the job. It's just they don't want the search out in the public. Are there a couple names? I think so. Tampa Bay just got eliminated the other day. You just wonder, former Blue Jacket Matthew Darch is an assistant general manager with the Lightning who's been there for a couple of cups. I could see a situation where both the Blue Jackets would be interested in him and Darch potentially interested in interviewing with them. Another name that some people will definitely remember from back in the Maple Leafs days, current general manager of the London Knights, Mark Hunter. The Knights are still in the playoffs, though, so until that rectifies itself, the Blue Jackets probably aren't going to be able to talk to them. So there's a few names that they could definitely go with, and then will they bring in their new coach? That could go either way, too, because on one hand, they already have a couple coaches on payroll, and if they want to actively evaluate what they have, that could bode well for Pascal Vincent, but depending on which general manager they bring in, there's a chance they could bring in their own coach. So it really does depend on who they hire for how that could work out.
He is Mark Scheig of the Hockey Writers with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. I mean, just assessment of Pascal's first year, and we got to check in with him mostly every single week during the season, and I don't envy the job that he had to do, Mark, and I don't know if any Blue Jackets fan did. He was thrown to the Wolves. You go with Mike Babcock. As an organization, like, you failed on that front. Pascal's in town, and he was given a short deck of cards to play with. I thought he did okay, but again, it's all going to come down to the general manager, whether you want to roll out with somebody who's already here or if you want to go with an established head coach and bring in your own guy. Like, how would you assess Pascal's first kind of rodeo here in Columbus as, as the active head coach?
Brandon, you said it very well. He was dealt a really short deck. He was there with Babcock planning the season, but for all that to happen, then he had to go in and try his best with that. I mean, he's been a coach for over 30 years on other various levels. He's got experience in being able to help young players along. So to be able to accurately assess in just 1 year does kind of feel tough to me. So if it were me, I probably would try to give him at least one more year, because there's a couple factors in play. The players didn't quit on him. They seemed to respond to him well, and there was a little bits and pieces of improvement as well. So, yeah, as you said, it comes down to the general manager, but I could see a scenario where he deserves a little bit more time, a full off season where he can implement his own stuff, where he's not rushed. And then if it still doesn't work out, then you take action at that point. But, he's done some good things, so it'd be interesting to see if the general manager agrees and allows him that opportunity.
And we know too, Mark, I mean, really in professional sports now, it is just churn and burn through general managers, through coaches. It's kind of a unique situation that Jarmo lasted as long as he did here in Columbus. But I almost wonder too, like, if a new GM comes in, it's like, well, my clock, if it goes poorly for the Jackets this year and they do retain Pascal Vincent, well, my clock won't start until I bring in my own coach. And I wonder if that's even a thought process right now in the mind of the Jackets organization.
The thought process in the mind of the Jackets organization is, no matter what, find the best general manager candidate is, John Davidson said it. They wanted an outside voice because it has not worked out here the last couple of years at all. So they want someone with experience. They want someone with a fresh perspective, someone that's willing to maybe make some hard decisions. And that's the point here. This general manager isn't necessarily going to be attached to anybody. So he's going to come in with a perspective of what does it take to try to get the Blue Jackets finally on the winning path. And sometimes you see those teams that are winning make some really tough decisions. So that's ultimately what their goal is going to be. Whether that means bringing in a new coach or not, that general manager, hopefully with experience, will be able to come in and make the right call on several fronts, not just the head coach, but how to fill out the bench, how to fill out the roster. There's just so many things that they have to figure out.
So 2 parts to this here, Mark. 32 teams in the NHL. Where would you rank the talent on this roster, based upon young players, guys under contract over the next 2 to 3 years? And then what would you say, and this is probably even a bigger question because it seems like we've been here, whether a coach or GM every 3 to 5 years, has been the biggest issue why there hasn't been able to have any sustained level of success?
Yeah, the second question is really good. In terms of the current roster and the young talent, I look at it in 2 parts. The prospect pool, that when they draft players and they're brand new and are still prospects, it's one of the best in the league. When you're led by Adam Fantilli at the top, along with many other prospects, that's a really good pool, and that would actually drive a lot of general manager talent to want to come in and lead that group to the next level. And then why hasn't it not worked out? Generally, when you look at playoff teams, it comes down to, age, experience. The Blue Jackets, it seems like for the longest time, year over year, has consistently been the youngest team in the NHL where, yes, that could bode well for the future, but when you're trying to make the playoffs, it's the experienced teams that make it. So what the new general manager is going to have to do, Bob, they're going to have to come in and find the right mix of players that have the right veterans around them. And then that can involve some really tough decisions because the current mix just has not worked out so far. So if they could bring in their own mix of players to go with the young talent, then you're going to start to see some meaningful progress.
Hey, Mark, before we get you out of here, just any ideas or hunches from your perspective, what goes on with the Jackets goalie situation for this offseason?
That's a great question. You got 2 under contract. You got Merzlikins, you got Tarasov. But I'm telling everybody, watch Jeff Greaves. I know the Monsters lost yesterday. It was a 2-1 game, but the year Greaves had, it was a historic season in the AHL. And he's put himself in a position where he might try to get in and battle for one of those 2 positions with Columbus. We talked about the general manager. They're going to have a say with that as well. Is there a buyout of Elvis Merzlikins? And they're going to have to ask that question. They could start with both goalies and then, kind of play 1A, 1B. There's just a lot of scenarios that can play out. The general manager will come in to say, will that work? And we'll see where it goes from there. But it can go a lot of ways.
Before we get you out of here, Mark, who we got winning or hoisting the Stanley Cup here in the month of June?
Yeah, I've said at the beginning it would be Carolina and Dallas. Dallas has made a nice comeback against Vegas, up 3-2. Carolina, they got to play the Rangers, though, and that's going to be a really good series. You can't discount Florida either. You can't discount the Oilers. There's a lot of good teams. I'm going to stick with my guns and say Carolina. That's the way that they handle themselves. They're so fast. They're so talented. I think that's the team that hoists the cup.
All right, Canes, Stars. Stars getting a big win last night, too, against the Golden Knights. Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks so much for waking up here early this morning. Great stuff as always. We'll check in again soon, okay?
All right, have a great day, guys. Thank you.
There goes Mark Scheig of the Hockey Writers with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Zeke, he's heading back to Big D to chase a dream. That and Quick Hitters next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no crashes across your central Ohio interstates. We are seeing things pick up on I-71 near Polaris and on the southeast side on 33. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest the Your Cabana side. Slade Hot Yoga. Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adulted a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Self-care alert, new Tropic Bowls are here. Try one of our 4 flavors like our new acai bowl. Your vacay is a Tropic Bowl away.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the stuff outdoors you love, the stuff you want to do, the hiking, the running, the playing on the beach. It's being around friends and family. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. If you're tired of achy joints, you need to call my friends over at QC Kinetics before you agree to any risky surgeries or steroids or harmful medications. That's what tens of thousands of real-life patients around the country did, just like me with my knee. My dad did with his knee. Some of our friends and family who have done it with knees and shoulders and a variety of joints. They're out walking around now, enjoying the time outside. Or you could be like a guy like Chad, who wants to live life to the fullest, but his knees have been bothering him. He's been on pain meds forever. He went to crutches on his high school reunion, but that was before he found QC Kinetics, and now he's bouncing around like the pain is gone. And QC Kinetics has a national director in Dr. Mitchell Scheig, who's been doing this for over 20 years. So go check him out at 614-208-4544. That's 614-208-4544.
I just wanted to share how much my mom means to me. She works hard every day to make sure my siblings and I are happy and healthy. She never takes any time for herself and always puts us first. That's why I think she deserves a gift card to Kenneth's Salon and Day Spa. She deserves a day to be pampered because she's always taking care of us. She deserves a day to be treated like a queen.
Celebrate your mom with a gift card from Kenneth's. For every $100 spent on gift cards, you'll get another $10 bonus card redeemable in June, July, or August. Get yours at kenneths.com or visit any Kenneth's location.
Rothman and Ice.
And if you do make a trip up to the Hall of Fame, don't steal any bust or, Detective Rothman is coming to get you.
They're a little more bolted down than they used to be back in OJ's time.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Tracy, over to you for weather.
The sun must be shining, Dave, because the 7 for 7 sale is back at Meijer. Mix or match hundreds of items like extra large avocados and mangoes, Kraft macaroni and cheese, and Glass O vitamin water. Pick any 7 for just $7. There's a strong chance of saving with the same quality Meijer deals in-store or online. Back to you, Dave.
Sounds great, Tracy.
Deals so good, you've just got to talk about them. Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Heart Royal Flush Tour 2024. May 15th, Schottenstein Center. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. The iconic band returns with special guest Cheap Trick. Tickets on sale now at heart-music.com. Don't miss 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Heart with Cheap Trick live.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at some sunshine today. That'll lift temperatures from a cool start in the 50s this morning to the 80s by the afternoon, mid-80s. In fact, warmer than yesterday. Pop-up shower or storm will be possible this afternoon. Those chances drop tonight, but more shower and storm chances return Friday as temperatures again hit the 80s, cooling some by the weekend. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Here's a list of undisputed facts. Beamer is round, Shark was a swinger, and no one derails a show like Bobby Carpenter. No one. This is Morning Juice.
We are the Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can always visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Schottenstein Roofing. For top quality and a price match guarantee, visit SchottensteinRoofing.com.
Hey, Sharky.
Yeah, buddy.
A very happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday to you. Go Crew. Black and gold.
You watched the game last night, didn't you?
I watched. I turned it. I completely forgot about it. Was watching baseball, and I turned over, and it was the 94th minute.
Oh, so you got to see the penalty kick then?
I saw the penalty kick, and then I saw the Monterey players attacking the referee. Jan said, "What are they so mad about?" I said, "Honey, I just turned the channel. I hadn't seen anything more than you've seen."
They're mad about how they didn't get it done in 90 minutes against the Crew, so they decided to take it out on the refs instead of winning the actual game.
It looked like there were going to be some fisticuffs there or something, and
there's
crazy.
red cards being doled out after the game, pointing, screaming, yelling, all kinds of
She
good
said,
stuff.
"What does the red card mean?" And I said, "He's disqualified." And she said, "The game's over."
So whenever Monterey play in their next game, that player will then miss their next Champions Cup game because that will hold over until next year. But
craziness. Quick hitters we're doing right now. We need to back off our excitement over a new football stadium in Chicago. It is far from a done deal.
That
the
was
Bears,
quick.
They unveiled a nearly $5 billion plan last week that called for a portion to be paid with public funding for the Dome Stadium right there on Lake Michigan next to Soldier Field. But the Illinois Governor, J.B. Pritzker, isn't so enthusiastic. His office is talking about protecting taxpayers, and they would need to see a demonstrable and tangible benefit to the taxpayers of Illinois. The governor did not rule out more discussions, Beamer, but it sounds like Pritzker is going to rain on your parade.
Yeah, Kirk County doing the best thing that they possibly can, man. I don't think this is a surprise. I saw when Kevin Warren was out there unveiling these stadium design plans and renderings. I'm like, what are the actual chances that this stadium deal gets done? It looks good, but again, you as in Kevin Warren, as in the Chicago Bears, are footing $2.4 billion of this. This is a $4.8 or $4.3 or $4.6 billion stadium. You are footing the bill for $2.3 billion of this, half. Where is the other half of that coming from? And so while it all sounds good, this is great. We're super excited about this, and this is going to be the crown jewel of the Midwest, and we're super pumped that we can build a dome and stay down on the lakefront. I didn't believe that going in. Until it's actually certified and approved and they get everything in order, that land that they purchased in Arlington Heights is still out there. What this is, it's everybody's kind of bargaining and at the table.
A better situation out there. The reality is, Beam, if they're able to get a stadium done, they're going to get a Super Bowl, I would imagine, in the first 3 years of the stadium. Mm-hmm. Probably in the first 5 years, they'll get a Final Four as well.
Yeah.
The tangible impact, the economic impact on those is in the hundreds of millions of dollars. I think you could argue that you're going to get close to that. I think just a lot of public municipalities have lost their desire to fund these stadiums this way. Now, they'll fund a portion. Probably 25% to a third of it's okay.
But if you're ringing in at $2.3 billion.
Part of that's the problem with the building structure and the situation in Illinois and Chicago and how expensive it is to build. And that's something that they've created there themselves. So they've got, and it's an urban city. And the reality is, do you want them on the riverfront? Do you want them or lakefront? Do you want them downtown? If the answer is yes, you're going to have to figure something out. And when they say 2.3 coming from, the Bears, there's probably, I bet, a couple $100 million, $400 or $500 million of that's even coming from the NFL.
Yeah,
300 million.
300 million.
And then some of that also in the kind of the coffers of the Bears are coming from sponsors.
Yeah, and so they've got to figure out. They've got to put more money into this. It's going to be more like 3.5.
Yeah,
if you're going to want this thing to be built.
Zeke is going back to Dallas, and he is thrilled. He's thrilled because this gives him a chance to chase his dream of winning a Super Bowl. Now, forget the fact that the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl since Zeke was 6 months old. But Ezekiel Elliott told LoneStarLive.com, Bob, that he came back to Dallas to do what he hasn't done.
He's going to be wearing 15 instead of 21, which is what he wore at Ohio State. Got Trey Lance to cough that up for him.
Probably wasn't a hard bargain.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious. Who's wearing 21 there now? I have to go look at that.
I don't know.
Maybe one of the DBs. Obviously a very coveted number in Dallas with the history behind that. But they're all in, Shark. I wish Bodie was in for you today so I could mock him about Dallas being all in. Bringing back Zeke, final piece. And listen, I love Zeke, and he's going to be a big-time contributor there. I don't think they're chasing a Super Bowl, but him playing Shark gives him the ability to win a Super Bowl versus not.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, absolutely does. And it's a better situation than he had in New England to possibly win a Super Bowl. I mean, they're really good in the regular season, and then they collapse in the playoffs. By the way, nobody wears number 21 for the Dallas Cowboys right now. So that was an open number. He's just decided, you know what, I'm going to change, yeah. You think he's going to rock the sweet crop top when he comes back, or is that against NFL rules?
Against rules.
Darn it.
It's been 11 years since EA Sports had a college football game, but it is back, and the new version will be dropping this summer, and this new version has some changes. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit will be back as broadcasters for College Football 25, but there will be other announcers too. EA Sports isn't throwing any names out there, Beamer, but Reese Davis, Desmond Howard, Jesse Palmer, Kevin Connors, and David Pollack have all said that they'll be involved.
I think it would be really cool if EA Sports was able to kind of get this together and you had your own, like, networks, right? I mean, that's more money. You have to think, like, if Fox wants to get involved, if NBC wanted to get involved. Like, you got a big game coming up here. Like, it's, let's say you're playing career mode kind of as, like, Ohio State. And, you know, you got a big game coming up at the end of the year. It's against Michigan, and then they have, like, the whole big noon kickoff. They got the big noon, like, they got Gus and Joel on the call. But I did find this to be interesting. Maserati Marv!
How about Big Daddy calling our game?
Yeah, let's get Big Daddy on there. I mean, that would be pretty tremendous. Let's go hyper-localized on the actual, like, radio broadcast teams. I think that would be pretty neat.
That would be cool if you could pick your own local radio broadcast.
Yeah, that would be.
That would be something I think people would really enjoy.
I do too. But I did find it to be interesting where Herbie was doing interviews. Like, we're not going to be the only broadcast team in this game. Depending on, like, the magnitude of the game, it kind of picks and chooses, like, who's going to be on the call. So I think that's pretty intuitive by EA. I like that.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, they're not locked in with ESPN, and you talked about Fox and Big Noon. If they could somehow find a way to have, like, your hyper local to where if you're playing a home game, you know, if you're playing with Alabama, you have their play-by-play local guy, Notre Dame, Ohio State, whatever. I think that's pretty cool and iconic. It'd probably cost a lot and I mean, the time and energy to put into it would be cost prohibitive, but that would be sweet. But I like the fact that they're doing it like this.
Buckeye NFL, all NFL teams absolutely loaded. Do that in the re-rack coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Happy Thursday to you. Right now, no crashes or major slowdowns that we are watching. We are starting to see busy traffic on I-71 as you approach downtown Columbus and on 33 westbound coming in from Canal Winchester. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Glow Fiber. Glow Fiber Business is now in Ohio. With prepackaged and customized fully fiber optic business internet solutions, call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hi, this is Bob McElligott for Schottenstein Roofing. If you need repairs or replacement for your roof, siding, gutters, or windows, call Schottenstein Roofing at 614-321-8888. Schottenstein Roofing, a proud partner of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
We see it every day. A guy comes into the men's clinic and guess what? The pills quit working, or they're sick of the side effects. And you know what else we see? Guys not confident in their relationship. At Columbus Men's Clinic, we're the leaders in bedroom confidence. Understanding if you even need ED or low T treatment should be the first step. And the next should be choosing the treatment or treatment combination to build your confidence. Our urologist and physician group is offering professional, modern treatments with success rates as high as 92% and decades of experience. Our doctors are not going to send you an email with what might work for most people. We are results-driven. Concierge. You don't pay for medication, it's included, but you invest in the time it takes to get you where you want to be. We've built an experience with discretion that takes the worry out of going to the doctor. In fact, we've normalized it for guys all over Columbus. Come see our friendly team in Columbus and find out why we've been #1 in men's health for years. Get a consultation and low T blood work with results on your first visit for $99. Get your confidence back in the bedroom and beyond. Go to columbusmensclinic.com and book your appointment today. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com.
Hi, this is ESPN's Mike Greenberg, and ESPN Bet is ready to take you through all the biggest sports moments this spring. The official sports book of ESPN has exclusive offers and markets from Scott Van Pelt, Stephen A. Smith, and me. From the playoff intensity to finally getting out to the ballpark, there's no better time for sports fans. Sign up today, and new users get $100 in bonus bets for making any sportsbook bet. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play.
Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Lowe's knows pros need the right tools for every job. That's why we sell the largest in-store selection of Klein tools anywhere. Find new items launching exclusively at Lowe's, like the self-leveling laser level for just $159.98. Plus, shop the Connect socket set for just $49.98. Get Klein tools in-store and online today. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows pros.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. The Columbus Crew beat Monterrey 3-1 in Mexico to advance to the finals of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. The Crew won both legs of their semifinal match against Monterrey. Aiden Morris, Diego Rossi, and Jason Russell Rowe scored the goals last night for Columbus. In baseball, the Reds won the opener of their series in San Diego on Monday, but then lost the next two, including a 6-2 loss in the series finale yesterday. With the score tied 2-2 in the seventh, Jake Cronenworth untied it with a grand slam off Cincinnati reliever Fernando Cruz. Cleveland's Stephen Kwan had a single, double, and triple and drove in 2 runs, including the game-winning RBI double in the 10th, giving the Guardians the 3-2 win over the Astros. In the NBA playoffs, the Celtics crushed the Heat 118-84 to win that first-round series 4-1. Boston now faces the winner of the Cleveland-Orlando series. The Cavaliers lead 3-2 with Game 6 tomorrow in Orlando. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
What's the going rate for a good babysitter? Also, Shark needs a raise. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us on a Thursday. Brandon B., Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here, 7:35 this morning, our good friend Bucknuts and On the Money, Dave Biddle. He's going to join the program. Bids was up. He was texting me last night during the Crew game, so I know he enjoyed that last night as well. So we're talking a little Buckeyes, a little Crew soccer with Bids coming up here around 7:35, a little bit later on.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Have a tip time for the Cavs and the Magic, Sharky, tomorrow. That is a 7 o'clock tip-off. And good news for you, Bob. That game's going to be broadcast not on NBA TV, which you said isn't a national game, but it will be on ESPN.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We'll be able to find it.
You'll be able to work that in. Avalanche. Shark, we've had a day to kind of sit on the Cavs victory. Are we feeling the same way heading into Orlando as we did yesterday, or are we feeling a little bit better about the situation?
I hate to give away too much because we've got Duel at Dawn today.
Yeah.
And there might be a question about that, and I don't want to lead you guys in any direction because I know I would have a lot of influence on how you would answer the questions.
Yeah, you absolutely would. Okay, we call that in the business horizontal diagonal tees.
I'm still going to go with the home team in all 7 games.
All right, so you're going to roll with the Magic tomorrow. Very good. But that tip time was announced 7 o'clock tomorrow evening on Friday, and that game will be broadcast on ESPN. NBA playoffs last night, Celtics dispatching of the Miami Heat. I know that Bodie slept well last night. 118-84, final score in that one. So the Heat are dead. Mavs take game number 5 from the Clip Show on the road. They now lead that series 3-2. Luka going 35-7-10 last night. Elimination games coming up tonight. Got a 2-pack of them. Bucks at the Pacers. Pacers looking to knock out the Bucks. Can the Bucks do it on the road to even that series up at 3 games apiece? And then the Knicks back in Philadelphia against the Sixers for a Game 6 coming up here. Of course, Knicks leading that series 3-2 as well. So big night across the NBA tonight. To be quite honest with you, I'm going to go to bed at like 8 o'clock tonight. The first hour of the show, I was feeling pretty good, Bob. I was waking up. The victory last night will continue to push me through, but I'm starting to get a little weary. It took my eyes. I was driving on 315 this morning. It took my eyes so long to focus in this morning. You know when that happens, like you wake up and you're like, "Where am I? What am I even looking at?" It took about 5 minutes driving this morning for me to kind of like lock in.
Really?
Yeah.
I could see that. Uh-huh. That's hard, man. When you're tired, your eyes are glassy, doesn't feel good.
What's going on here?
Waking up. Yeah, that could be a rough one, Bean. But you know what? It's all worth it because you got to celebrate the victory.
Oh, I did, and it was so great too. So the Crew take down Monterey in Monterey 3-1.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the first 10 minutes of the game, Monterey just comes out crazy. They score a goal. Okay, no big deal. You know that they were going to come out. You kind of got to weather the storm. You just don't want to allow them to get a second goal.
Yeah.
Right? One goal wasn't a big deal. And your ultimate goal was
you need a goal.
Your ultimate goal was to go down there and get a goal. They did that right before half with Aiden Morris's goal. Huge blunder by the Monterey keeper. Like, can't do that. There's 15, 20 seconds left to go in the half. He decides, you know what, I'm going to try to be a hero here, throws it. They're going to try to do a little outlet. Aiden Morris, boom, pick six, other way, steps to it. Goal, ties things up going into halftime. 5 minutes into the second half, Diego Rossi puts the Crew ahead 2-1, which means that Monterey would then have to score 3. Jason Russell-Rowe comes on in like the 70-something minute. He gets a goal in like the 73rd or the 74th, and then it was 3-1 from there on out. But the Crew heading into a Champions Cup final, which will be played against Pachuca, coming up here at the beginning of next month. So we don't have a date for that yet. And CONCACAF said they're going to move it because of elections. But listen, I was reading this article, and this was really, really good stuff by Henry Bushnell of Yahoo Sports. Really great wordsmanship on this. The Columbus Crew were adventurous and brave, coordinated and confident. They were calm in the eye of a CONCACAF storm. At the same steel colossus where Lionel Messi had faltered. They were underdogs at Monterey in the second leg of a gripping Champions Cup semifinal, but on Wednesday night, as most of America snoozed, the Crew rose to the challenge that even Messi and Inter Miami couldn't stomach. They beat Monterey 3-1 on the night in Mexico, 5-2 on aggregate. They became the first team in MLS to topple Monterey, a Liga MX giant, in a 2-leg knockout series. They're on to next month's Champions Cup final, where they'll meet a third straight Mexican foe, Pachuca, in Mexico. They have rescued MLS from what, without them, would have been a mammoth, humiliating flop in this continental competition. They did all of this in the 6 years.
Just for Dong Arbor.
They did all of this because in the 6 years since a snake-like owner tried to steal them from Columbus and a grassroots fan movement saved them, they have become Major League Soccer's model franchise. They have an ownership group willing to spend. They have a president, Tim Bezpachenko, Presbez, friend of the program, who seemingly find talent anywhere. They have a revolutionary coach, Wilfried Nancy, who has preached pretty soccer, all while instilling belief and courage. They have a superstar, Cucho Hernandez, who set the tone in last week's first leg, and several bright attackers around him. But they did what Messi and Miami couldn't because they're a well-rounded, coherent, cohesive team. They've invested in reserve squad and the Crew, too, that has beefed up their senior rosters with Jason Russell-Rowe, who sealed the semifinal triumph. They've invested in the academy products like Lynchpin's Aiden Morris, who turned Wednesday's second leg on its head with the last kick of the first half. It's a really good article by him, if you want to go and read it. But what this means, because Crew fans Crew fans are well aware of this. You don't go down there and win games. Like MLS sides, American teams have a history of going down there and laying the biggest eggs and turning what could possibly be dreams into nightmares. And instead, what you got last night in the second half was death by, whether you want to say 1,000 needle pricks or 1,000 paper cuts. I mean, you just slice and dice them in the second half once you got that goal. Monterey started to press. You started possessing the ball. They got a little aggressive. You started going down. You started getting fouls. They were just chewing up clock. I mean, like clockwork in the second half. And they weren't ever afraid to attack, and they got that third goal to send them through to the 3-1 to victory. But it was, for Crew fans, it's an unbelievable night. So that sets up a final against Pachuca. Pachuca, another big dog like Monterey. Monterey undefeated when they get to a Champions Cup final. They didn't get there this year because the Crew beat them. Pachuca also undefeated in Champions League Champions Cup final. They're 5-0 in their history, so it's going to be a big task. But you are now in the headspace with the Crew of being potentially the best ever MLS team to play. Like this current iteration of the Crew, there is an argument to be made that this is the best ever assembly of MLS talent in the history of that league.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
So maybe get another back-to-back MLS Cup too.
Buddy, if you win this Champions Cup, I don't care what you do for the rest of the year.
Just take the rest of the year off.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Playing the games drunk.
Doesn't matter.
Guys drinking beers on the sideline.
Don't care. Don't care what you do if you're able to win this final.
Cucho just yelling at coaches all over the place, getting suspended.
Say suspend him for the rest of the year. Kick him off the tour.
The greatest player in North America.
Yeah. To go down there and beat them 3-1. And then what Sharky, what you had mentioned in quick hitters, I mean, they were just so bothered by it. Their fans were upset.
Oh, yeah.
They were upset. They're yelling and screaming at the ref after the game. I thought Stu Holden on the broadcast did a good job. He was like, you know what? That's embarrassing for them. A club of that magnitude, have respect and dignity in defeat. They failing to do it because they have never been in this situation before. They've never got beat by an MLS team in this. They don't know what that's like. And so at the end of the game, they decided to take their frustrations out on the referee. Red cards left and right. Looked like there was going to be a massive fight. All in the meantime, they kept panning between the shots of the Monterey players who were screaming and yelling at the referee, him sending him off. And then they kept going back to the crew players, just like hugging and embracing. And I don't know, man. It was a pretty tremendous. It was just a unbelievable night.
Beam.
Unbelievable night.
Great moments are born of great opportunity.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
Here we go.
Wilf, after the game, said, for me, this is about trying to be limitless.
Limitless?
Yeah.
Mr. Unlimited?
Yeah, that's right.
Hold up. Miss Wilfried Nancy is going to be he's going full Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
So
but
great.
the good version of that.
Did you think Cucho, was he doing calisthenics on the plane on the way down? Did they film
I
him?
don't think the Platinum Cooch was doing calisthenics on the way down.
Probably.
No.
You know why I envision Cooch on a plane? Cucho, I envision him a lot like Billy Idol in The Wedding Singer. Just sitting there, hungover, slightly drunk. Shark loves the reference. You know, bottle of champagne in his hand, falling asleep. The only thing that wakes him up is when the champagne bottle tips and spills on his leg.
That's them for sure today.
I mean, maybe on the way down.
Yeah, who knows?
So has there been any other MLS teams other than Seattle that has made it to the championship?
Made it to the final?
Yeah.
I don't think so, Bob. Let me look on that, but I know that Seattle was the only team to make it.
To win it. Has anyone else made it? How long have they been doing this for?
This thing's been around for a while. It was kind of weird, and they kind of rebranded it. It used to be called the Champions League, and now it's the Champions Cup. Like, they used to have like a group stage play that you would play in, and then you would get your way kind of through the knockout rounds. But yeah, I don't. Let's see, titles, finals, runner-up. So in total, the MLS teams have 3 titles, and I believe that was back in 99 and 2000, but that was an entirely different competition, kind of the way that they have played. Costa Rica has 6 titles. Mexico has 38.
Yeah, so they've got the, quote, what you would call the lion's share, Beam.
Yeah, that is, you're absolutely right on that. So it's just an unbelievable.
This is huge, though.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable night. It was an unbelievable night.
So they still haven't set a date, though, for it yet. They moved it off of Election Day in Mexico.
So they haven't yet, but they will.
Fake Election Day in Mexico.
They haven't yet, but they will. So they are going to move it off of that
Why
date.
don't they just do mail-in balloting like they do here?
So
Shark was telling me how much he loves that.
LAFC, who you beat in MLS Cup final last year, played in the final in 2020 and 2023 and lost.
Is Beckham still playing for them?
Beckham.
On his 49th birthday, did they have a big celebration?
Beckham not playing for them, never played for them. They're a new team. You're thinking of the Galaxy.
LA has 2 teams?
Yeah, they have an expansion team now. Yeah, they have.
That's what LA needs.
Do you know? So you know
more sports teams because they're supported so heavily.
Yeah. Do you know? And they brought a lot of fans when it was MLS Cup final. They brought.
I'm guessing actually on the spectrum of fandom, the soccer teams in LA probably do pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing in the smaller stadiums, but the Latin American base there, like those are the people that are going to actually go to the games, as opposed to the Rams and Chargers that no one goes to. That's good. They got a second team out there.
They do, and the big rivalry between Real Madrid and Barcelona over in Spain is called El Clasico. So there's the new rivalry between LAFC and the LA Galaxy. Do you know what they have termed that? Which I think is I think it's great.
La Angelica?
El Trafico.
El Trafico,
which I think is even better. So the Crew with a historic night, unbelievable stuff for them last night. Again, death by 1,000 paper cuts to Monterey. Final going to be held the first weekend here in June. Buckeye NFL, all NFL team now with the draft being done and C.J. Stroud having the year that it is. I don't know if there's any other college NFL team that could possibly beat them. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. No crashes to let you know about right now, but we are seeing busy traffic on I-71 in downtown Columbus and on 33 westbound on the southeast side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest the Your Cabana side. Slade hot yoga? Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adulted a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Self-care alert, new Tropic Bowls are here. Try one of our 4 flavors like our new acai bowl. Your vacay is a Tropic Bowl away.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Common Man and T-Bone.
What am I going to say to you? I had something to say. This show sucks.
Dude, this is the worst segment we've ever done. I want to leave and never come back.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Men, this is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And though I generally talk about medicine and effective treatments for erectile dysfunction and other men's sexual health issues, today I want to talk about love. Because love is the best reason to get treated for your ED. You see, ED can cause major relationship issues. In fact, men often push their partners away when ED becomes a problem. The condition can cause depression, arguments, breakups, and even contribute to divorce. But the good news is that if you're like most men suffering with ED, you can be successfully treated at Tri-State Men's Health and put a stop to the relationship stresses that ED can cause. I say this with all confidence because we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Truly, it's likely you'll find you're performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and get the love back in your life. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472,000, 614-472,000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472,000, 614-472,000.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan and weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
80s again expected for this afternoon. In fact, a couple of degrees warmer than what we saw yesterday. A mix of sun and clouds and the possibility for a pop-up shower or storm this afternoon. Those chances continue into the evening, fading some as we start Friday, but rain chances will pick back up throughout the day. Shower and storm chances continue throughout the day Friday and into the start of the weekend, cooling temperatures. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
In high school, Bobby was a district swimming finalist. Also, Beamer still wears floaties. This is Morning Juice.
I love this weekend coming up here. It's the 150th Kentucky Derby. That's right. It's right around the corner. And FanDuel, they're the only sportsbook app where you can actually bet it. Plus, all customers, you're going to get a no-sweat Derby bet up to $20. That's right. You're going to get up to $20 back if your Derby horse doesn't win. I mean, we've got all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, we know that mint juleps are going to be flying around here. You want to take chalk? You want to go with the favorite? How about Sierra Leone, Sharky, ringing in at a nice little 3-1? Or are you going to go with the long shot, like a 50-1? Maybe like a West Saratoga or a Society Man. All kinds of good stuff in there, but I get super juiced about the Derby. Just don't pre-batch those mint juleps like I did a couple of years ago.
Oh, you're going to have a great time. It's Derby Day, and like I said, Kentucky Derby, the only place you can bet it is FanDuel. How about Encino Beam, or maybe just a touch? 10-1. You got to love that right there.
Who doesn't love that?
So bet on the Derby on the same app where you can bet all your other favorite sports. FanDuel, heck, just parlay them all together. Get a nice little mashup for the weekend. So download the sports app or go to FanDuel.com/juice to score your no-sweat Derby bet up to $20 for the Kentucky Derby this Saturday. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. Verified FD Racing account required. Refund issues now withdrawable sportsbook bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at racing.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Biddle of Bucknuts and On the Money. He's going to join the program coming up here in our next segment. That's around 7:35. Bids will join us. He was texting me at like midnight last night, so good to see he stayed up for the Columbus crew. Yeah, he loves everything Columbus.
Good to see he made it up this morning.
Yeah, he was.
We'll see.
He already retweeted the coming up on the show, so I mean, he may have fallen back to sleep.
He could have someone else do that for him. And Bids has an army of people working for him. Social media.
He's got Murph. He's got Murph to wake him up this morning.
That's perfect. The Murph dog.
Yeah. Which I know Murph was up late, too.
I was going to say, let's not act like Murph was
Let's not trust him to be up anytime before like 10 or 11 o'clock here this morning. So the all-NFL team from the Buckeyes is pretty astonishing right now, Bob. Dan Hope of 11 Warriors put this together, and I think he did a really good job of it. At quarterback, you have C.J. Stroud and Justin Fields, which that was always the knock, like when you did these hypothetical kind of discussions about, who would be the quarterback for Ohio State. And for the longest time, it's like, well, that team wouldn't be very good because you didn't have one. But now you got two like proven NFL commodities in there. Fields kind of hoping to get a new start in Pittsburgh. C.J. Stroud obviously winning Rookie of the Year. Now one of the odds-on favorite to win NFL MVP for this coming.
I would say that C.J. Stroud, based upon last year, a lot of people are putting him in the top 10 tier, and we'll see where it goes from there, but was very, very good last season.
Zeke, J.K. Dobbins, Trey Sermon, your running backs. That's a nice little three-pack for you. By the way, J.K. healthy. He was super pumped.
He's never getting injured again.
I did see that for the
more or less. Not a direct quote, but that was the summation of what was said.
He did. He said, "I'm super pumped that I'm never going to get injured again," or something like that. Like my body's not going to fail me, and it has. Like his first few years in the league. So hopefully,
ACL, Achilles.
Hopefully he gets that thing back together out there with the Chargers. But Zeke, J.K. Dobbins, Trey Sermon. Your wide, there's not a better wide receiver.
So they said, what was it, the 2020 wide receiver room, 2021 wide receiver room, best in college football history. It had 4 first-round picks in it. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. Then you had, obviously, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson.
And now
Marv. And, you could have 2 of those guys be – was Garrett Wilson Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
You could have 2 of those guys be Offensive Rookie of the Year, and one of them couldn't have won it because his classmate won it. Because you could argue Chris Olave was like in the running for that as well.
Yeah,
had a very good rookie season in New Orleans.
He did have a really good rookie season. So your wide receivers for this all NFL team: Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, Marvin Harrison Jr., the guys who you just mentioned, Terry McLaurin.
Tim's rolling with Scary Terry.
The way that Shark just looked at me, he's like, yeah. That's a pretty good little addition to that. I mean, that's already 5 guys. Curtis Samuel, and then Noah Brown, who's been really good in the NFL.
He's just played a long time.
He has.
He's played a long time.
Was it the Oklahoma game down there where he had 4 touchdowns?
Very good.
That's something I'll never forget. Him wrapping himself around the body of a defender.
Around another dude.
Yeah.
Had to reach around that dude to go get it.
Tight ends, Luke Farrell, Jeremy Ruckert, Cade Stover.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a nice little tight end room for you. Offensive tackle, Taylor Decker, DeJuan Jones, Paris Johnson Jr., Thayer Munford, Nicholas Petit-Frere.
It's really good.
I mean, that's some of the best tackle crops that you'll probably
Taylor
find.
Decker's been the old head in that group, been doing it for a long time, and DeJuan and Paris are kind of the next evolution.
Of course they are. Guard Jonah Jackson, who just signed a big-time contract extension with the Lions. I think it's like $50 million or something over 3 years. Like, he's done a really nice job since getting there in Detroit. Matthew Jones and then Michael Jordan as well for the guard. And then centers, Josh Myers and Luke Whippler. Saw Luke Whippler last year with the Browns, got hurt, and then Josh Myers doing obviously a really good job.
Yeah, and that's just Corey Lindsley, I think, just announced his retirement because outside of that, he would have been the guy, and he was very, very good for a long time.
Absolutely. So that's the offensive side. We're going to do the defensive side coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, but offensive side, I would say potent potables for the Buckeye offense.
Yeah, very, very good. And it's the quarterback room that was always the bugaboo beam, the hiccup, if you will, and those questions have now been answered. Offensive line, I mean, if you're really putting it together, you could probably even slide Paris Johnson to guard because he played that here for a year at Ohio State. But they've got tons of talent right there. Some of the guys just retiring as of late, who obviously were big, impactful players. But the last decade for Ohio State has been very, very fruitful with developing NFL talent, high-level NFL talent. Even guys like positions like guard and center, where guys aren't drafted generally in the first round. They've put guys together who are Pro Bowl caliber players.
Yeah. And have had good long careers.
Yes,
good
absolutely.
long NFL careers, which they're going to be set up for success.
Developed here, Beam, is the term they like to use.
That's the mantra, and that rings very true. You'd be proud of me last night. So when William was getting ready to go to bed, I was outside. I was doing a little bit of yard work.
Your little buddy, and you put a little whiskey in his bottle. Go to sleep for me so I can watch the crew.
He's more of a gin guy, but yeah. So I know.
Saw him eating that grass. He thought he might like pine needles.
Exactly. And so that's pretty good.
Billy, try some of these.
Yeah.
He shoot on him.
He went back for another ant yesterday, and I had to stop him.
Why?
Because I think he might like it. And
you just saw the anteaters, the Grand Canyon anteaters. Just beat Ohio State in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I guess Willie will exact their revenge on you for that. So he went to bed last night. I was outside. I was doing a little bit of yard work. And have you seen these things? They're like water tables. Like, it's something that you can play with outside. It's
oh yeah, the tip you plug in like sprays you.
Yeah, it does
like a splash pad, like a little mini splash pad for kids.
Yeah, exactly. So Meredith bought one of those, and she goes, "I really want to put this together after William goes to bed." I'm like, "All right, that's cool. How long is this going to take?"
Some assembly required.
Some assembly required. So I open up the box, and it's got
like 40,000 parts.
I mean, it's got a crazy amount of parts. It's got screws. It's got like nuts and bolts to it. I'm like, this is going to be a disaster. Like, why am I starting this at 7:45 in the evening?
Yeah, get me a drink.
Yeah, it's going to kill some time before the crew game. So it didn't have holes in it for the screws to go through. Like it said, it's like, this is malleable. Like, you can just punch right through it.
Of course.
And so I said to Meredith, I'm like, you know what? Screw the screwdriver. Why do what a screwdriver can do?
Yeah, use a drill.
When we can do what a drill does.
I always use a drill for that stuff.
Yeah, and you would be so proud of me, Bob, because I'm staring down the barrel of like an hour. I got this sucker done in 12 minutes.
Perfect. Yeah,
I mean, I was just boom, 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 screw, drill, bump, bump, bump. Theo was going crazy. Our neighbor's like, "What are you doing out here in the backyard drilling?" I'm like, "I'm putting together a water table for my boy." And then, I mean,
it was boy.
Yeah, let the boy watch. And I think 15 minutes. I mean, I was done with that.
Oh
thing.
yeah,
I felt so good.
I can't wait to talk to you around Christmas time. In the holidays, it's going to be tremendous.
You know what else is going to be bad?
I'm like on my way through this, but I mean, there's 3 nice scooters that we have hanging up that have probably.
I remember you telling about the assembly of those.
Yes, I mean that some assembly required, and between 3 of them, we had enough parts for one, and then my brother and I had to go to Lowe's to get enough parts for the other ones after we figured out what we needed. If he wouldn't have been there, it would have taken forever. The first one took like 2 hours. second, third took about a half hour apiece after we figured it out. But that was with drills. Oh, putting in this train track set one year, you had to put all the stickers in it and like trying to contort my hands to make sure I wanted them smooth.
You don't have small hands either.
Yeah, I'm like, but my wife's like, why are you taking so much time with this? I'm like, because I don't want it to look like crap. I put this thing together. The kids are going to play with it for a week, and then it's going to sit here for 2 more years. I at least want to look at this thing collecting dust and know that it was put together right, and there's not wrinkles in the stickers, and they're all smooth and looks good like it was done professionally.
At least you have the honest thought to yourself that said, you know what, I know this is just going to sit here and not be played with for the next
they
couple
play the heck out of it, and then it's like, all right, sit here, sit here, sit here. The good news was when we moved, I think we gave it to one of our family members or friends. Or
Get it out of here.
Yeah. It was a nice little table, like train. It was not cheap, and it was whatever, but yeah, that's the reality. Beam. This is, you're on the cusp of this. That was your first little foray, exactly. Into it. You'll get used to it later.
Dave Biddle of Bucknuts and On the Money. He joins us to forecast what these next few weeks are like for the Buckeyes next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. No major crashes to let you know about right now. We are seeing busy traffic on I-70 coming in from the west side and on I-71 coming in from the south side as you approach downtown Columbus. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by ER Auto Care. We are masters of our craft.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spending the money to replace our home's windows is rarely something we get excited about. We usually do it because our energy bills suck or our current windows, well, they're too messed up. But in working with the local Pella Columbus team, my eyes have been opened. New windows can legitimately change the entire look of your home. They've got windows and colors and styles like I've never seen, and they can change everything. So go see my friends at PellaColumbus.com or check them out at their brand new Polaris showroom.
The standing room only, with all eyes on the 18th green.
There was some speed to this.
The sudden roars.
Gauged it just right.
That Sunday celebration.
From Oslo to Ohio, Victor Hovland is the champion.
It's better live. Join us at the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. June 3rd through 9th. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. You know, we do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require a precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here for my friends at RCD RV. And when you want to get away, there is no better solution than hitting the open roads in an RV. Brings me back to my youth out west, under the stars, fresh mountain air. That could all be yours, and your journey starts at RCD RV. RCD has RVs to meet every budget with new campers as low as $13,995, and Ohio's best selection of pre-owned travel trailers, fifth-wheelers, motorhomes. 3 locations to serve you in Central Ohio or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs.
Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings? Very possible. Playoffs? Highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
Hey, are you having a hard time dealing with high-interest credit card debt? It's normal, and a SoFi personal loan could help you save thousands by consolidating your DEBT to one low fixed monthly payment. You could get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign, with no fees required. It only takes 60 seconds to view your rate, and it won't affect your credit score. View your rate at SoFi.com/paid-off. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/paid-off. NMLS 696891.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
The hardest part of your workday is over. You've managed to get out of your fart sack.
Attention campers, lunch has been canceled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it.
This is Morning Juice.
Here's Long here, Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Right now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our good friend of Bucknuts and On the Money. He is Dave Biddle. Bids, happy Thursday, buddy. What time did we get to bed last night? Know you were enjoying Columbus's domination over Monterey.
I at least got some sleep last night. You probably pulled an all-nighter, didn't you, my friend? Did you get any sleep at all, Beamer?
Yeah, so the game ended, around like 12:15, 12:05, something like that. It took me a while to settle down, quite honestly. I probably went to bed, Bids, at 1, got up at 4. So I'm around 3 hours, so it's not awful. I mean, we'll make it through the day. Now, I'll tell you what's going to happen, because I'm really banking on this nap later. I'm really banking on William to have a nice nap. And I know it'll be one of those days where he just refuses to go down or gives me like 20 minutes. And by the time that I fall asleep, he's back up. Like I'm already forecasting and predicting that's what it's going to be for me later on. But that's all right. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe put on the replay of the Reds game from yesterday. That'll have William just sleep for 2 hours straight at least.
Yeah, it sure will, man. what are the Buckeyes up to here these next few weeks, Bids? Because kind of we're in a discretionary period right now in college football.
Yeah, I think it's, with the portal closing, I think if you're a Buckeye fan, you got to be very happy the way it worked out. I mean, we heard that, entering the portal could be chaos, not necessarily for Ohio State, but just in college football overall. And it really wasn't in college football overall, and it certainly wasn't at Ohio State. They did lose 6 young men, but I guess, Beamer, other than maybe Dallin Hayden, who would have been the number 3 tailback, I don't really think they lost anybody who was in the plans to have meaningful playing time. And even as a number 3 tailback, it probably would have taken an injury to either Quinshon Judkins or Travion Henderson or both for Dallin to have a huge role in this offense. So, I wish all these guys well. Like Enoch Vamahi, nice kid, entering his 6th year. He wasn't going to play. I mean, they threw him a bone in the Cotton Bowl. A guy like Keon Gray's another nice kid, buried on the depth chart with all this talent to have a wide receiver. So, lost 6 guys to the portal, which is actually lower than the number that a lot of people thought. And again, I don't think they lost anybody who was in the plans. But I'm going to be following these guys. Like Dallin Hayden's going to Colorado, playing for Dion. Like, I'm going to be rooting for these kids, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But from an Ohio State perspective, it just continues to be a great offseason with the coaching staff Ryan Day has put together. All these kids coming back who could have been drafted, not first round, but certainly would have been second, third round picks. A lot of them, guys like Denzel Burke, JT Tuimoloau, Tyleek Williams, and others. All those guys coming back. The guys they got in the transfer portal, like Caleb Downs and others. Will Howard, of course. I'm really, really excited about this team. We'll see what happens. It's arguably, I'll say this. It's arguably the best Ohio State roster I've seen on paper, but we'll see what happens.
Surprised at all, Bids, that there weren't any guys of true consequence that were going to be contributors that maybe were lured away with, potential and prospective NIL riches?
Yeah, Bobby. I mean, I really, Ryan Day's got to be very happy he didn't lose any of his quarterbacks. Because I know I do believe Will Howard's going to be the starter, but I also believe Ryan Day believes that he's going to need more than one guy because it's such a long season, and they're going to run the quarterback this year. And I say need more than one guy. Hopefully not. Hopefully nobody gets knocked out for the year. But you might need. I mean, even C.J. Stroud's first year as starting quarterback, he had that shoulder injury, and Kyle McCord got a start as a true freshman. So. I'm mildly surprised, but certainly happy that. And Devin Brown was the guy I was kind of looking at there. I didn't think either of the true freshmen certainly not Julian Sayin was going to transfer. I guess I could have understood if Aaron Nolan transferred, although he looked good in the spring game. If you're Aaron Nolan, you're thinking, why can't I beat out any of these guys? So I would have been surprised if either the true freshman transferred. I would have been surprised if Lincoln Keenholz transferred. He's been here less than a year. He got here in June last year. Devin was kind of the guy I was looking at, Bob. Like, is he going to think, well, no matter what they're saying, like, yeah, Will's clearly ahead of me, maybe I should go. And like you're saying, maybe somebody would have offered him a lot in NIL. But, hey, man, he burned the boats, and he's confident. And I love that he's sticking around because depth is important. As we all know, last time they won the national title, they were down to their third-string quarterback. So mildly surprised that they didn't lose Devin Brown and maybe somebody else. But, again, great offseason continues for the Buckeyes.
He is Dave Biddle of Bucknuts and On the Money with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Let me ask you this about Devin Brown then, Bids. How surprised would you be? Because he stayed, he did the whole burn the boats thing down. You know, he was talking about, leading into spring. He's like, yeah, people talking to me in my mom's basement. You don't know anything. Like, that was great content from Devin. And he's a fiery, feisty character, and I like that. What odds would you give him, or how surprised would you be if we go through fall camp and he is actually the starter day number one?
I'll be very surprised. And I know you're assuming no injury to Will Howard, right? Yeah, both guys are healthy. I'll be very surprised. I will be. They didn't bring Will here to be a depth piece. They brought him here to be the starter. And that doesn't mean they're just going to give him the job, as we saw during spring. But who ended up getting the first snap in the spring game? That was Will Howard, and I think that's what we're going to see. No, would it be the most shocking thing ever if Devin ends up beating him out? No, but I think when you add it all up, and Will has 27 starts under his belt, Devin has 1, and he got through about a quarter and a half of that game. The durability issues are a real thing. Now, was it kind of a 1 year, 1.5 year fluke because he also missed last year's spring game? Maybe because he didn't have any injury issues in high school that I'm aware of. It could have just been a fluke. You add it all up. I'll be very surprised if it won't be the most shocking thing ever, but I would be very surprised if Will Howard's not trotting out there as the starter when they play Akron in the opener.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that's probably the anticipation for most. Looking at the portal bids, now they have some scholarships opened up with 6 departures. I think they're a couple light at this point. Where do you think those scholarships are ultimately allocated?
I keep thinking like maybe they'll get like an offensive tackle in the portal. And then I look in the portal like no, like none.
Is there anybody worth getting? People act like just go to the portal and get them. Like that's right. Like going to the hardware store and trying to buy linens. I'm like, if there's nothing there, you're not going to be able to get anything.
Yeah, I went to Ferrari, but you go to like the used car store that has like 5 cars, you're probably not going to get that new Ferrari. Yeah, it's like. You look in the portal, and I'm like looking at the guy who's like the best, offensive lineman in the portal. I'm like, there's no way he's better than either of Ohio State's projected starting tackles. Is this guy even better than, let's say, their backups? Not better than Tegra, maybe George Fitzpatrick. So that's where we're getting down to. So they're not going to get a tackle from the portal as much as we all want. So to answer your question, Bob, you know what I think they're going to do? I think some of the guys that are walk-ons that are going to play a lot of football this year. Patrick Gerd is an example. I think they're going to bump him to scholarship. Maybe a T.C. Caffey, running back, is going to get bumped to scholarship. I believe he's on an academic scholarship anyway. He's a brilliant young man. But I think what they're going to do is take care of some of the walk-ons. Maybe they'll bring in someone from the portal. You never know, but at a different position. Oh, and also the kid they're bringing in from Australia, the punter, they'll put him on scholarship. He's coming on scholarship. So
like 6'5". He's a big fella, isn't he?
He's 6'7". He's taller than that. He's 6'7" and every bit of 6'7". Like he's not like late. He's not one of these guys. He's 6'7" and he's going to come. He's really like 6. Like when he was there, we thought it was like, who is this guy? He was there on a visit. We thought he might be like an offensive lineman who needed to fill out or something. And he's like 250 pounds. He's not like 6'7", like 180. I can't wait to see this kid. That's going to be the tallest punter I've seen. I hope this guy, and word is he can boom it like 90 yards. Now we'll see. He's going to outkick his coverage, to use that phrase. But so yeah, the punter from Australia, and then probably a couple walk-ons will get bumped up, and there you go.
The big punter. I love Big Ten big punters, and we've got one of them coming here to Columbus, which I'm super fired up about. Before we get you out of here, Bids, I know we'll chat to you between now and then, but prediction for the Crew against Pachuca in the final?
Pain for Pachuca, obviously. Big time. And the fact that we get to go down to Mexico again, all right. I'd prefer if it was at the Death Star, but okay.
Hey,
this is how it's meant to be.
It's a second home for us, buddy. Always appreciate the time. Thanks so much for waking up with us here this morning. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll check in soon, all right?
Thanks, Beamer. Thanks, Bob.
There he goes. Dave Biddle, Bucknuts on the money with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Whole heck of a lot to be juiced about on this Thursday. We do that next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. No major crashes to let you know about right now. We are seeing busy traffic on I-70 coming in from the west side and on I-71 coming in from the south side as you approach downtown Columbus. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Spring Sale. Did you know that right now you can save up to 50%?
On bookcases?
Yep.
Office storage?
Yeah.
Ooh, something for the kiddos?
We've got you. Plus, IKEA family members get an extra 10% on select sale items.
Sign me up.
Don't miss out on the big IKEA Spring Sale. Visit your local IKEA store or go to IKEA-USA.com/offers now through 5/7. Offer valid 4/17 to 5/7. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store on IKEA-USA.com for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
QC Kinetics provided amazing pain relief for a former professional baseball player, and you have access to the same life-changing treatments as retired Braves pitcher Jose Alvarez.
I put a lot of stress and strain and work on my right arm, but my right elbow took most of the damage with 3 surgeries.
Arthritis developed, and the pain was unbearable.
It wasn't just pain when I was trying to play sports. It was anytime I was moving the right elbow. It was pretty excruciating at times.
That's when Jose discovered QC Kinetics and the regenerative treatments that help the body heal itself, restoring damaged tissue and providing relief with no surgery or downtime. Jose's message to the medical professionals at QC Kinetics?
My elbow is feeling outstanding. Where were you 10 years ago, for crying out loud?
QC Kinetics is right here. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544.
Attention all shoppers, get ready for unbelievable savings at Midwest Vapors. Our shelves are packed with incredible deals and our clearance section is overflowing. From premium cigars to disposables, Midwest Vapors has slashed prices across the board. Don't miss out. Swing by Midwest Vapors today and stock up on your favorites at an incredible price. Midwest Vapors, where quality meets affordability. Visit Midwest Vapors today at 2344 Stringtown Road in Grove City or online at MidwestVaporsOhio.com.
Bishop and Friends.
He feels that it is time that he gets a gaming system in his room. I'm going to pay it with my own money. It doesn't even affect you. I'm like, where do you think your money comes from, dude?
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
There's a little slice of heaven in a country road's escape. Pure perfection in the form of uncrowded nature. Over 1.5 million acres of parks and public lands. From mountain biking to stargazing, churning whitewater to quiet trout streams far off the grid. Almost heaven is down to earth in West Virginia. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
Save big on fuel with M-Perks. Earn points on your Meijer purchases in-store and online. Then use your points to claim a fuel reward and save up to $1 off per gallon of gas at Meijer. Claim your M-Perks fuel rewards on the Meijer app and ID at the pump to save. Plus, earn points for qualifying Meijer Express purchases and look for exclusive Meijer Express offers. Download the Meijer app to sign up or see Meijer.com to learn more. 10 cents to $1 off per gallon based on points earned. Exclusions apply. Not valid in Wisconsin. Max 30 gallons.
The Home Depot wants every mom to have their own outdoor oasis this Mother's Day, so give her the gift of the perfect outdoor space with some new patio and deck furniture, like the Stylewell Park Point 4-piece patio set, a stylish and comfortable place to entertain when she wants to, or relax when she needs to get away. And with convenient delivery, you won't have to stress over getting it to her either. Shop outdoor furniture like the Stylewell Park Point 4-piece patio set right now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
This NFL Draft Player Profile is brought to you by ServPro.
Today, the NFL is full of general managers who erase past draft boards and pretend like it never even happened. For instance, 2017, the Chicago Bears picked Mitch Trubisky at number 2, while quarterback out of Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, fell to the Kansas City Chiefs at number 10. Patrick Mahomes, the gunslinger who can improvise, create when everything breaks down, can make every throw a nightmare for defensive coordinators to prepare for.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Fan weather.
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
So we're looking at some sunshine today. That'll lift temperatures from a cool start in the 50s this morning to the 80s by the afternoon, mid-80s. In fact, warmer than yesterday. Pop-up shower or storm will be possible this afternoon. Those chances drop tonight, but more shower and storm chances return Friday as temperatures again hit the 80s, cooling some by the weekend. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, a leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Sharky, in the worst of ways here at 7:50 on this Thursday morning, fill my cup up with some Schleigs.
Huge day to GSD. That's get stuff done. You can also substitute the S for something else with a high GSF because that's what I'm all about.
There you go, Bean.
Yeah, not going to be a GSD day for me.
No?
Nah.
Come on.
Nope.
Sometimes you got to play hurt.
I got my GSD stuff done last night.
All right.
Yeah, I got it done last night.
I saw this stat from the NBA playoffs. It's pretty amazing. Over the last 3 games, New York's Jalen Brunson has scored 126 points and dished out 29 assists. In NBA playoff history, only 2 other players have had 125 points and 25 assists in a 3-game span.
LeBron James, and I would say Larry Bird.
I'll say Magic. LeBron and Magic.
Keep going.
Jordan.
All right. LeBron and Mike.
And Jalen Brunson.
LeBron and Mike and Jalen.
Wow.
Yeah, Michael
that's
in 1989.
Pretty good airspace to be in.
Yeah, LeBron did it in 2018. Stephen Kwan, my man Steve, out in left field there for the Guards. He has 7 3-hit games this season already. We're just 5 weeks into the season. He leads the major leagues with 7 3-hit games. And he is the first Guardian player since 1937 to have 7 3-hit games.
The other one,
in the
LeBron
first 30
James.
games. LeBron and Mike and Jalen. So that's pretty good. Quan also leads the American League with 45 hits. Little squirt out of Oregon State, maybe the 3rd best leadoff hitter in all of baseball.
Batting .360 with a .512 slugging percentage.
How about that?
Jeez.
How about that? And then I got to say this because it's not going to hold true for very much longer, but a year ago, the worst division in all of baseball was the American League Central. This season, so far, again, 5 weeks in, it is the best division in baseball, the only division that has 4 teams with winning records.
What about the team at the very bottom, though? They're bringing the weight down a little bit.
They are. The White Sox are just I think the Columbus Clippers could beat them. But 4 of the best 7 records in the American League come out of your AFC.
Can you imagine being
American League Central?
a Sox fan and we're not even, maybe you're just through the month of the season. You're 14 and a half games out of first place already.
I can't imagine it because I'm a Blue Jackets fan and we're out of it by Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Bob, what has you juiced?
Oh, goodness. Let's fire up a little Don Staley here, head coach of South Carolina.
I'm very different than your parents because your parents don't want you to fail and they don't want you to be uncomfortable. They do everything in their power to make sure you don't feel the pain that they felt growing up. And it's probably the biggest mistake because they're going to fail. I tell them I love you enough to allow you to fail. I do. I love you enough to allow you to hurt. I love you enough for you to have a bad game or bad month or even a bad season. Because if you're trying to get to the next level, you're going to have those days. And if you can't operate in that space, then you're not going to be at that next level. And that's not just basketball, that's just anything. You're going to have bad days that you're going to have to just fight through because the competition is waiting. They're waiting for you to fail so they can scoop in and take your raise or take your space. And that's what I try to prepare our players for.
That was really good stuff. Yeah, I mean, everybody. It's the hardest thing you find as a parent is you want to make sure your kids have awesome opportunities, have an unbelievable chance in life. But part of their success and opportunities beam is always going to be growing through adverse situations. And those adverse situations are what ultimately define you, and they're called. I'd like to tell my wife they're growth opportunities. So we're going to call them for the kids. They're growth opportunities, and so do not rob them of that experience because that's going to allow them to reveal what they are, reveal what they want to be, and to work through some of that stuff. And then one other thing, we've got some great...
You know what, Bob? I wish my coworkers would allow me to fail.
You want me to just...
Every time I make a mistake, you point it out. Let me fail. Let me fail.
You did fail. I identified your failure for you.
I know.
That's like an immediate self-scouting.
Yeah.
That we go into you, Shark.
I don't go
But you fail so little that we don't want you to fail. Yeah.
I mean, just make sure. And then also, the weather's been fantastic here. It's going to be rainy this weekend. I encourage everybody, listen, I'm going to tell you this, Shark, before your AC goes out,
Stop it.
I'm just telling you, get it tuned up.
Bob's going to let you fail at the worst time for you.
Check out our guys over at Carpenter. They'll figure it out. They'll get it taken care of for you. But it's nice. This is when everybody's, it's all good. And then all of a sudden, it's going to be snip, snap, 90 degrees, super humid. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, no, it's not working anymore. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
You can only preach about that for so long. So if it's older, make sure you get it tuned up, looked at, so that you don't get caught in a bad spot. Beam, what's got you juiced?
Yeah, that's got me juiced, Bob. We had a situation, it was a couple of years ago, right when we first moved in our house.
Yeah.
And again, it was like a brand new AC unit. Called the guys, and I'm like, this should likely be under warranty. So we had a guy come out, and this is like during the thralls of COVID. And, one of the installers comes out. He's like, hey, can I see that sheet, on the warranty sheet? I'm like, yeah, sure. It says serviced by, there's like a checklist.
Yeah.
Like who did it and who installed it. And I forget the name that he had. And he was like, Andy. And so he knew. He was like, it's probably something small. Let me go look at it. He just forgot to plug in the air conditioner to the thermostat.
Perfect.
Well, that doesn't seem very good. It was an easy fix for him.
It's kind of like what goes on in our studio here.
Oh, yeah, that's just a placebo. That's just that thing doesn't control anything on the wall. What's got me juiced? Super excited. Willie's been in an awesome mood this week, man. He's been really cool. His personality's starting to shine through a little bit more. He's having all different kinds of fun. He's starting to kind of become a little more sentient, a little more with the program. So it's funny. He'll bring me books, and so it's like 5 little monkeys jumping on a tree, teasing Mr. Crocodile. Can't catch me. Along comes Mr. Crocodile. Snap. And so he brings me this book, and whenever we get to the part where I'm teasing Mr. Crocodile, he gets this big smile on his face because I like to smack the book together, make a big loud sound. And so then he just starts laughing and he starts giggling. And so we do the hand sign no, don't do that. And so we've asked him,
the last Kembe Mutombo over there.
Yeah, exactly. And so we've asked him. We're like, all right, William, what shouldn't the monkeys do? And he just starts waving his hand in the air, with one pointer finger up. I'm like, that's pretty cool, man. Seeing him learn on the fly. Anytime he grabs a banana, he just goes, makes it sound like he's a monkey.
Nice.
So it's pretty cool, man. I'm having a really good time, and that's got me super fired up here.
That.
The crew also have me fired up. We've done that a lot. We'll do that a little bit more next. And we also did the Buckeye All NFL offensive team, and the defensive team might be better than the offensive team. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. No major crashes to let you know about right now. We are seeing busy traffic on I-70 coming in from the west side and on I-71 coming in from the south side as you approach downtown Columbus. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by ER Auto Care. We are masters of our craft.
Everyone needs a mechanic they can trust, and ER Auto Care is that shop for me. Quality craftsmanship done with the highest level of integrity. I couldn't ask for more. With first-class facilities and high-quality staff, the personal touches make every visit worthwhile. ER Auto Care. They truly are masters of their craft.
I'm betting once a week, and then now I'm betting twice a week.
Only on 10, he started placing bets on his phone.
First, I was doing it for fun, and then I'm chasing losses. You lose, you chase, you lose, you chase. So I'm lying to my fiance. I tell myself I can handle it, I can handle it, I can handle it.
Only he couldn't. His story of tragedy and recovery everyone who gambles online should see.
If you don't put your hand out for help, no one ever knows you need help.
Tonight at 6 on 10 TV.
Jeopardy is on the hot streak with runaway games, high scores, and can't-miss moments.
I've always had nightmares about doing this, Ken. True Daily Double, please.
Oh, that's the spirit.
As this game heats up,
what is the secret of being a world-class Jeopardy player?
Everyone's asking,
could we be witnessing a new super champ in the making?
Find out.
All right, we got a tight game.
On Jeopardy.
Weeknights at 7 on 10 TV.
A system for every home and every budget with Logan Services. Get 0% APR financing for 72 months on a qualifying train system. It's hard to stop a train. Schedule your free estimate now. Logan Services.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Evan Cohen here from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio for True Green. Are you ready to elevate your lawn game without breaking the bank? True Green has been the trusted choice for over 2 million homeowners for over 50 years. Visit TrueGreen.com and discover the easiest and affordable way to achieve a pro-level lawn guaranteed. Plus, enjoy True Green's verified price matching, ensuring you get the best lawn for the best price. Visit TrueGreen.com and transform your lawn effortlessly. That's TrueGreen.com. Your dream lawn is just around the corner.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. Aiden Morris, Diego Rossi, and Jason Russell Rose scored goals in the Crew's 3-1 victory over Monterey in the semifinals of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Columbus wins both legs and advances to the Cup Finals. For the first time since 1910, Cleveland has played 4 straight extra inning games. In Houston, Stephen Kwan's RBI double in the top of the 10th gave the Guardians a 3-2 win over the Astros. In the bottom of the 10th, Kwan made a diving catch in left field that he turned into a game-ending double play. Reds reliever Fernando Cruz had gone 8 straight appearances without allowing a run. But yesterday in San Diego, the streak was snapped when Cruz gave up a grand slam to Jake Cronenworth in the 7th inning. That turned a 2-2 tie into a 6-2 win for the Padres. The Sports Center is sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com to get started. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
If you make a wisecrack about Dayton Pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
Hour number 3 of the program for us on a Thursday. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Addendum to the program. I got so excited about the Crew game last night and filling out the sheet. Albert Breer's coming up momentarily. MMQB. Totally forgot. And luckily, Albert texted you. He's like, hey, you guys still going to call me? I mean, I didn't see my name on the coming up on today's show sheet.
Exactly. And a lot of times I asked him, I was looking at that, I'm like, I feel like, what are we
missing? What are we missing today?
And a lot of times he'll text me, just confirm him for tomorrow.
Yeah, forgot
about that. And
he's worried about the Crew.
Yeah. So, all good. But we coming off the draft, I mean, there's no better guy to have. MMQB Albert Brewery's as locked in as anybody. He'll give you all the insight and details coming up momentarily.
Yeah, that's going to be great. So Albert Breer is going to join us here in a few minutes.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
You know, sometimes you just get distracted by things. Cavs against the Magic in Orlando Friday at 7 o'clock. Crew 3, Monterey 1. Advance in the series 5-2 on aggregate. You go down to Monterey in the quarterfinals. You beat Tigres in a penalty shootout. First MLS team to ever do that. You go down to Monterey. You beat them in regular time last night 3-1. It gets you a 5-2 aggregate victory. You're going to have to go back down to Mexico here at the beginning of June if you're going to want to win the entire thing. But the Crew making it to the finals. First time in club history doing that. So really, really impressive stuff. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up around 8:35, a little more this morning We've talked about it quite a lot here a little bit earlier on. And right now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our good friend. He is Albert Breer of the MMQB. Albert, I was so enthralled by the Crew game last night that I forgot to put your name on the prep sheet. Thankfully, you texted Bob, or else we were just going to blow past the stop sign on that. And I know that you were getting into soccer yesterday. You had the opportunity, you were watching the Champions League game to familiarize yourself with Ray Hudson, who is the color analyst, who was doing a great job. And he had a great line yesterday, and I saw you tweet it out. He said that, your middle son is a huge soccer fan, and Ray Hudson with an all-time line saying the shot was a garlic milkshake of a finish. Like, that's who Ray Hudson is. So I'm glad that you were able to kind of dip your toes in on that.
Yeah, no question. It was, it was great actually, because we went to, we decided to do something a little different this year for their school break. They have their break in April. And so we went over to, we went to London, which is actually like a pretty easy flight from Boston, And so through some of my NFL connections, I was able to get the kids to an Arsenal game and a Chelsea game. And I'm just telling you guys, like, I was like, I don't know if I got religion on this stuff, but it was really, really, really cool. Like, I would suggest anybody who has a chance to do that to do it. And it's not just like the atmosphere and all that. Obviously, that stuff's great. Like Chelsea, really, it was like everybody said it was like Fenway or Wrigley, and that was 100% true. Like, this place is like 150 years old, But man, like, the athleticism was so impressive. Like, it does not translate on TV. You know what I mean? Like, you get to watch these guys up close, and I'm sure you guys get a glimpse of it, with the Crew games and everything else. But just to see like the guys at that level, like the athletes they are, was really impressive.
Oh, absolutely. As we talked to Albert Breer of the MMQB here, and we're coming off the draft. Albert, a little bit of time to kind of breathe in and see what's all happened. Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Detroit. I thought Detroit did a great job hosting it. It looked fantastic, and the weather cooperated. What's the biggest story coming out of here that maybe you think is kind of being underreported at this point?
Well, it was great, except that they kept playing that horrible song over and over again. And my buddy Rich, my bitch buddy Rich Eisen might have been a little over the top.
Oh,
too. I think, one thing that's interesting to come out of the weekend that maybe people are missing a little bit is the explosion of money at the receiver position and how it could affect things going forward. You guys saw Amon-Ra St. Brown, richly deserved, gets $28 million per year deal. A.J. Brown tops that a couple of days later. He gets $32 million per year. And, really, I think that just as far as, if you're a team that was like looking at trading for T. Higgins or looking at trading for Brandon Ayuk, like now, maybe you get sticker shock a little bit, and you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, like if we give up a high-end draft pick for one of these guys, what are we going to be paying on the other end of it? And then if you're a team trying to get one of these guys, trying to get your own guy re-signed, right? Like, imagine being Minnesota with Justin Jefferson or Cincinnati with Jamar Chase right now. Like you look at those numbers, it's like, what are they going to ask for? And then if you have a player who's a little less than a Justin Jefferson or a Jamar Chase, like, wouldn't you sort of be in a rush to try to get them done now so you don't have to see what a Jefferson or a Chase gets? If I'm Jefferson, I might be asking for 40 now. So, like, I just think the explosion of numbers at the receiver position, commensurate, of course, with like the cap increasing, I think had a real effect. It may have even pushed some of the run at the receiver position that you saw, not with the top three guys, because those guys are always going to go that high, but like all the receivers that came off the board late in the first round, early in the second, where it's like, we ought to get a guy under cost control now because the price tag of receivers keeps going up and up and up and up.
Albert, it was a historic NFL draft, right? 6 quarterbacks taken in the first 12 picks, tied the record for quarterbacks taken in the first round, and all of that happening, kind of in the opening montage of the draft. But out of those 6 guys who went in the first round, to you, who steps into the best situation, like, immediately upon their rookie season?
It's not even close. It's J.J. McCarthy. I just look at what he's walking into. Having Kevin O'Connell, having Wes Phillips as his offensive coordinator, who's got some experience now, Josh McCown as his quarterbacks coach, and then getting the chance to throw to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and T.J. Hawkinson, and having Christian Darrisaw anchoring the offensive line. not only is the situation really good, but everybody around him is young. You know, the head coach is young. His quarterback's coach is young. His offensive coordinator is young. Those guys, those players I just rattled off, I think T.J. Hawkinson's the oldest of them. And he's, like 25 or 26, you know? So, like, it's a real chance not just to have a good situation to start with, but really grow with a bunch of guys who are already really, really good players. You know, I heard before the draft that some of JJ's people, not JJ himself, but some of JJ's people may have been trying to engineer this outcome, you know, and really wanted to try and see if there was a way to get him to Minnesota. If that was the case, A, that's smart, and B, that's a job well done, because he's in a great situation now to be at his very best right from the start of his NFL career.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable when you hear that. The Bo Nix situation, Albert, to Denver. I mean, I trust Sean Payton. I think he does a great job evaluating quarterbacks all the way, back to his time with what he was able to do when he was with the Giants. Then you look at what he was doing with the Cowboys, and then obviously his run with the Saints. Really good at getting the best out of guys. You felt like Bo Nix possibly, and maybe you know better, it seemed like he could have maybe slid into the second round, and he goes 12. What was Sean seeing in him, and was this something that you felt like was a foregone conclusion coming in?
I just think Sean had conviction in him, and I know, like, as they kind of went through the process and as they kept checking boxes with Bo Nix, Bobby, like, there was almost like, what are we missing that everybody else is seeing? You know what I mean? Like, when they kept, like, it was like, okay, like, the arm strength is there. Like, he's a bigger kid than they thought, right? Like, when they got up and saw him in person, like, big hands, like, big lower half, like, just a well-built kid, 6'2.5", like, so, they kind of kept going through it. And stylistically, I think everybody knew he fit, right? In fact, they were a little nervous because, I had somebody there tell me this, like Joel Klatt, everybody knows Joel Klatt as the Fox, college football analyst. I'm not sure a lot of people realize he actually played for Sean Payton. He was in camp with the Saints in like 2006 or something like that. So when Joel Klatt, came out like at the beginning of all of this and said what a great fit Bo Nix would be for that offense. And then Chase Daniel, who played for Sean for so many years in New Orleans, said the same thing. The Broncos were at least a little nervous, like, hey, quiet down, guys. We don't need to advertise that as much. But his stock never really caught fire. There were a lot of people across the league that thought this kid's a backup. And, the Broncos ran analytics on him. And, analytically, and you wouldn't think of Sean diving into this as much, but, they leaned on their analytics department who, had some of the advanced statistics that, a lot of them said Bo was the best in the draft. And then, as they go through the physical part of it, because that's where he really got knocked. Like they went and, worked him out in Eugene and that part, those boxes got checked when they got to see him throw the ball in Oregon. And, even like the little things, like there was an anecdote I got, like Sean, when he was in the room, and I took some crap for this on social media, but whatever. I'll tell the story again. When Sean, when they were in Eugene, they were about to go out in the field, and they were in the meeting room, and Bo had a backpack with him, and Sean, said, "Hey, what's in your backpack?" So Bo started emptying out his backpack, and there's a roll of athletic tape in there to tape his ankles before he worked out. There was a there was a spare pair of cleats in there. There was a lacrosse ball that he used to kind of roll his back out. And as they kept taking things out, for Sean, at least, I know it was confirmation. This kid, really, his entire focus is on football. So, you add all of that to the fact that he has 55 starts in college, which is a big deal to Sean. And, and the fact that, he, really had some football adversity at Auburn, didn't play great at the end of his time there, and was able to turn it around at Oregon. And they really love what they got at 12, even if the rest of the league didn't see it the same way they did.
Albert, I know from, the outside looking in, like the first 7 super chalk, right? I don't think there were any huge surprises. Then you get to 8, the Falcons take Michael Penix Jr. It was a shock to the outside world. I mean, were you as surprised as I think the rest of us were watching that draft and the way that unfolded with the Falcons taking him at 8?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like you make phone calls over the last couple of weeks before the draft, things start to crystallize a little bit. And there's stuff you believe and stuff you don't believe. You know what I mean? And you heard from people like, hey, I heard the Falcons love Michael Penix, but nobody was like, but everybody's like, yeah, but they're not going to take him. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to actually do that. They won't actually take him at 8. And so like it was kind of funny that way because that buzz was out there, and they did have a big group fly out to Seattle to go and work him out. And, I think a big part of this for Raheem and for Terry Fontenot, I mean, let's start with the obvious, right? Like, there are scars for the people who were there over the last 3 years where the quarterback position was so sideways that, like, maybe this is a little bit of an overcorrection, right? And, Arthur Blank, I know, with the football people is big on, like, succession planning, right? Like, which is sort of, borrowed from his other business with Home Depot. I think as they kind of kept going through it, it was, well, we really like this about Penix, and we really like that about Penix. And as the coaches got more involved, with a lot of teams, Penix started to rise. I don't think he would have made it past the Raiders at 13, Seattle at 16, who has Ryan Grubb, who coached him at Washington. They liked him a lot. It was just as the coaches got involved in the process, you started to hear, yeah, he probably will go in the first round. Yeah, maybe he will go in the first half of the first round. And as I asked around more about why that was, why coaches being involved sort of changed the dynamic, it was because he has things like you can't coach. Like the deep ball accuracy, you cannot coach. Throwing with anticipation is very difficult to coach. His instincts in the pocket, subtle movements in the pocket, really hard to coach that. You can get better at those things, but those are things that are sort of instinctive or God-given where it's really hard to coach them. And, I think as coaches across the league got more involved in the process with Michael Penix, it was like, we really like all the stuff the kid's been through. You talk about football adversity. Nobody's been through more than this kid. 2 shoulders, 2 knees, the transfer from Indiana. No one really wanted him coming from Indiana. Washington was his only offer as a transfer. And so as the coaches kind of got more involved in it and everything else, they're like, here's a kid who's kind of already made his way and corrected a lot of things. And if there are some things we need to clean up, fine, but he has a lot of things that you can't coach. And so the Falcons looked at all of that, and it was like, we don't care if people disagree with us. If the result of this is 2 years, 3 years of Kirk Cousins and then 10 of Michael Penix, and we're set for the next 15 years at quarterback, well, then the rest of it doesn't matter, which I would agree with him on that part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to go against. It's just eye-popping when you pay a guy $180 million and then draft a guy in the first round.
And look, if you're Kirk, you'd be pissed too, right? Like, I would look at it like you have the 8th pick, and you're going to use a guy who legitimately cannot help, right? Like, because if he's playing, I'm not. It's the one position where that's the equation, So, like, certainly it's the same reason Aaron was mad, Like, it was getting called when you're on the clock, right? Like, which is the way it worked for Aaron, which is why Aaron was so mad about it. Same thing here. They call him when he's on the clock, and then obviously you're spending a first-round pick, a high-end piece of capital on someone who legitimately isn't going to help you personally win, like that part of it, I totally understand that part of it. There's definitely an argument to be made for a team that was really not good rushing the passer last year, drafting a Dallas Turner or a Byron Murphy or a Leatu Latu instead.
Albert, always appreciate the time. Thanks for reminding us to call you this morning. It was great stuff as always.
No problem. I'm not trying to push you guys make it sound like I'm trying to beg my way on.
No, we're lucky to have you. No, we're actually thankful that you did that because Bob and I looked at each other like, oh yeah, that's right. No, let's do that instead. Always appreciate it, buddy. Enjoy the second leg of the Champions.
By the way, did the Crew win?
They did win. They did. They hammered Monterrey in Mexico 3-1, and they're going on to the final.
I actually last time I was in Columbus when I went by the stadium. I haven't been to a game there or anything, but it looks incredible. Where the location of it, like the actual way the stadium looks amazing there.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get yourself down to when you're back in Columbus. Appreciate it, buddy. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll check in again soon. All right.
All right, thanks, guys.
There he goes, Albert Breer, MMQB, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to duel next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we're just watching one issue on the north side of town. There is a disabled vehicle that has the right lane blocked right now on the ramp from 270 eastbound to 23 northbound. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Attention HVAC contractors. For nearly a century, R.E. Michaels' contractor-first approach has built trust and true partnerships with contractors across the country. Now their exclusive brand, AirTemp, is available to you and delivers homeowners the best value in home comfort. AirTemp equipment is manufactured to the highest standards and is known for quality, reliability, and value. Come visit your local R.E. Michael branch today or visit remichael.com to learn more.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from 1 Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Safe Auto Insurance is now Direct Auto Insurance. What's the difference? Basically, the name. Direct Auto offers savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, just like you're used to, which means you never have to make trade-offs when it comes to paying for car insurance. So don't even think about carpooling to work with Talkative Ted. It's time to stop compromising and keep driving with Direct Auto. Get a free quote at directauto.com or call 1-877-GO-DIRECT. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
If you love your meals with a taste of exploration, check out the Latin Flavors event at Kroger. Embark on new culinary adventures with vibrant tastes and fresh possibilities, with Latin-themed inspiration and palate-pleasing recipes available in store and online. It's the Kroger Latin Flavors event, now through May 7th. We hope to see you there.
And right now, 16-ounce packages of Private Selection Angus 90% lean ground sirloin are $4.99 each with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, we'll chat with Memorial Tournament honoree, World Golf Hall of Famer Julie Inkster, plus some tech talk with Rod Cook from Titleist.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick, presented by X-Golf, Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Ever fight the good fight? That's pretty much my go-to move. I always want to come through for the people that count on us, to stand up for what's right, and I'll never stop fighting that fight. But when it comes to word games, I pick my battles. Take tune-ups. In Columbus, tune-up now seems to mean cursory inspection instead of deep cleaning and maintenance. And as much as I'd love to set the record straight, that ship has sailed. So for now on, my Eco AC technicians won't call them tune-ups. They'll Ecofy, Servicefy, and Restorify your AC.
Restorify? Son, I don't think your cornbread's done in the middle.
Look, if people want to call a drive-by inspection and sales pitch a tune-up, I don't want to fight them on the label. Whether you want to call it an eco-ification or not. The important part is we'll get your system fully cleaned, greened, and recalibrated to factory spec condition. Want a con job mislabeled as a tune-up? Call someone else. Want to Ecofy your AC back to perfect working order for only $89? Call
GetEco.com.
Glow Fiber Business is now in Ohio, and your business is our priority. Glow Fiber delivers reliably fast, custom, and prepackaged internet plans to meet the growing needs of your business. And our dependable 24/7 personal support means your business stays connected. Glow Fiber is here, and we mean business. Find out more at 833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today. Glow Fiber Business is not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
80s again expected for this afternoon. In fact, a couple of degrees warmer than what we saw yesterday. A mix of sun and clouds and the possibility for a pop-up shower or storm this afternoon. Those chances continue into the evening, fading some as we start Friday, but rain chances will pick back up throughout the day. Shower and storm chances continue throughout the day Friday and into the start of the weekend, cooling temperatures. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
Cruising along here, little Thursday edition of the program. Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Thankfully, Albert Breer reminded us to call him. It was great stuff out of him, talking all things NFL draft. Again, if you missed him, like we were almost going to, he can take a listen to the podcast as soon as the show is posted around 9:05 a little bit later on here this morning on any of your podcasting platforms.
Morning Juice presents Duel at Dawn.
Sponsored by FanDuel, the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice.
Sharky?
Yeah.
Damage.
Bobby's 2-week winning streak came to a halt. Will any of the top 7 teams in the draft trade out of their first-round pick? You both said yes. You were both wrong. Mm-hmm. How many quarterbacks will be drafted in the first round? You both said 5. You were both wrong. It was 6. With what pick will Marv be drafted? You both said 4. You were both right. Will the Bengals go offense or defense with their first pick? Beamer said offense. Bobby said defense. Beamer was right. How many Ohio State players will be picked in the entire draft? Bobby said 6. Beamer 7. Bobby gets the point because it was 4.
This is about our worst performance combined.
It's not great.
With what overall pick will the first running back be drafted? Bobby said 58. Beamer said 50. It was 46. Will Caleb Williams give a full 2-arm hug to Commissioner Goodell? You both said yes, and you were both right. But anyway, Beamer won 5-3 and picks up win number 33 in Duel at Dawn. Now we move on to episode number 62. We're going to do a quick Kentucky Derby draft here. Each of you will pick 3 horses to win the Derby. If none of those 6 horses you pick wins, then we'll take the highest finishing horse among those. Bobby, I'll give you the choice. You want the first pick or the second and third?
Ooh, the snake order drafting?
Yes.
I will take the first pick.
And you're going to go with?
Fierceness.
Fierceness, the 5-2 favorite for the Kentucky Derby. Yeah, that's pretty good. Shark, I'll go with Diamonds from Sierra Leone at 3-1 odds. I mean, I think we're just going to do the highest ranking odds on the list, aren't we? And then I'll take Catching Freedom with my third pick.
I like that name, Beam. Good for you.
I know exactly who you're going to
pick. Just a touch.
I let you have him.
I mean, there's a million ways I could go with that one, Shark.
Let's not go with any of those million.
Then, I'm going to go also with my name for you, Shark, Forever Young.
All right, Sharky, I get one more here. Let's see. I will go. Let's give me a long shot. I'll go Grandmo the first and a nice little 50-1 banger. I like a little bang.
I thought you'd like a good epic ride, Beam.
Oh, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Just a touch, epic ride. This is going to be a great derby.
This is amazing.
All right, the Minnesota Twins are the first team in baseball this season to have a 10-game winning streak. They don't play tonight, and then we'll host the Red Sox this weekend, a 3-game series with Boston, then a next week series with Seattle. How many games will the Twins win in a row before the streak ends?
0.
Comes to an end tonight?
Yeah. Comes after 10, huh?
Yep.
I'm going to say I'll say 12.
In the NBA playoffs, the Celtics, Thunder, Timberwolves, and Nuggets have already won their first-round series. The other 4 series are all going to a 6th game. Knicks lead Philly 3-2. The Pacers lead Milwaukee 3-2. Cavs lead Orlando 3-2. And Dallas leads the Clippers 3-2. How many of the 4 teams trailing 3-2 will come back to win those series?
I know the Cavs are not going to give it away, so that's one off the board. I don't think Philly's got enough gas to win 2 more.
I don't either. The Bucks are the wild card here.
They are, because it depends on how Dame and Giannis, if that situation's good. And I can see that LA and Dallas series going back. I'm going to say 1.
I'm going to take the under. I'm going to say 0, Shark. I think Dallas gets it done because Dallas is at home in their next game in the elimination game against the Clippers. I'm just looking at that Bucks, and that Bucks game the other night was a disaster for the Pacers. But I'll say none. I think all the leads hold.
In that Cavaliers Magic Game 6 tomorrow night in Orlando, how many lead changes will there be in the game?
Is this going to be like the other games in Orlando?
Yeah, exactly. 2. I'll say 12, Shark. 12 lead changes. I think it'll be a good one.
I'll say take the under on that. That's a good number though, Beam. I'll say 10, 11.
All right. How many points will Donovan Mitchell score for Cleveland in Game 6?
Let's go with
18
a solid
in the first half, 0 in the second.
So you're going with 18?
No, I'm rolling with Scary Terry. I'm going to roll. Go ahead, Bean. You got first dibs on this if you want, or I'll take it.
I'll take 27 points for Donovan.
I'll say number 2. I'm going to say 24.
All right, a very weak field at this week's Byron Nelson. Only one golfer who is in the top 20 of the official world golf rankings is in the field, and that is Jordan Spieth, who is ranked 20th.
Who also is from Texas.
Yep, all the big names gearing up for the PGA Championship in a couple of weeks. Anyway, what place will Jordan Spieth finish on Sunday at the Byron Nelson?
Let's say 4th.
Ooh, a nice little top 10 for Jordo. Yeah, he had some interesting comments yesterday
the weakest field around.
Yeah, he had some interesting comments about Scotty Scheffler and how, Scotty has forced him to re-examine his game because of how dominant he is. I'll say a 11th finish for Jordan Spieth this weekend.
All right, great first-round series in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Bruins lead the Maple Leafs 3-2 with Game 6 set for tonight in Toronto. So far, the road team has won 4 of the first 5 games in the series. During the regular season, the Bruins won 47 games, the Maple Leafs 46. So who will win the series, Boston or Toronto?
Well, I hate Boston, but I hate Canada more. So I say hate. Sports hate. Dislike Boston. I'm going to say the Bruins take care of it.
Bear down. Go Bruins.
All right.
You know my dislike of the Maple Leafs franchise.
Yes, but we don't pick with our heart here. We pick with our head.
Yes, we do pick with our heart.
Tiebreaker, what will be the winning time in Saturday's Kentucky Derby?
What is it usually? Do we have an average over the last?
I'm going to say, I have all this.
Didn't you get it last year on the...
I was pretty close.
The head?
I could tell you last year was 203.66, that wasn't last year. 201.57, 202.61, 201.02. 261. Is it supposed to rain down there, Shark?
I don't know, Bob.
Because they have the differences in track times, too.
We're going to talk to Andy tomorrow from FanDuel. She'll let us know.
I need to know the track potential. That's the issue. I'm going to split the difference here, and I'm going to say, I'll say 20. I'm going to say 202.50.
I'm going to go above that. I'll say 204.48.
The range, you're going to be right.
Yeah, well.
Wait. 202.50. What'd you say, Beamer?
204.48.
204.48. I got you down.
Let's see. Saturday and Sunday quickly. Louisville, Kentucky. Scattered thunderstorms. AM showers. AM showers on Saturday. So I think we might be all right by the time that it clears up. It still might be a little wet, but that'll be.
There's an even term wet but sealed.
Oh. How about Wild Ride?
Sounds like a great night.
Just a touch. I like them in those conditions. Your Columbus Crew are in some pretty rarefied air at this moment. We'll get into that next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now, no major crashes to let you know about across your central Ohio interstates. We are still watching crews clear up a disabled vehicle on the ramp from I-270 eastbound to 23 northbound on the south side. But other than that, things are looking clear. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Hey there, friends. Bo here. You planning that summer vacation? Skip the long lines in the crowded cities. Get away in an RV from my friends at RCD RV. Summer nights will soon be calling, and RCD RV is here to take your camping experience to the next level. They provide the best brands, the best service, awesome after-sales support. They are family-owned and operated in Central Ohio for over 50 years. You will feel it the second you walk on one of their lots. Over 650 new and pre-owned RVs in stock. 3 locations to serve you in Central Ohio or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
I'm betting once a week, and then now I'm betting twice a week.
Only on 10, he started placing bets on his phone.
First, I was doing it for fun, and then I'm chasing losses. You lose, you chase, you lose, you chase. So I'm lying to my fiance. I tell myself I can handle it, I can handle it, I can handle it.
Only he couldn't. His story of tragedy and recovery everyone who gambles online should see.
If you don't put your hand out for help, no one ever knows you need help.
Tonight at 6 on 10 TV.
Jeopardy is on a hot streak with runaway games, high scores, and can't-miss moments.
I've always had nightmares about doing this, Ken. True Daily Double, please.
Oh, that's the spirit.
As this game heats up,
what is the secret of being a world-class Jeopardy player?
Everyone's asking,
could we be witnessing a new super champ in the making?
Find out.
All right, we got a tight game.
On Jeopardy.
Weeknights at 7 on 10 TV.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here, and the hoops action is heating up, and Tipico Sportsbook is the best place to bet on the playoff action. Enjoy the most rewarding sportsbook with the hottest promos. Bet on select games. Earn a bet credit for each three-pointer made. Continue to rack up the rewards with the highest cash back in the industry with up to 5% cash back on your bets. Sign up now. Enter the promo code TheFan100 to get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $25. Download the Tipico Sportsbook app today. That's promo code TheFan100. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With spring ball behind us, we're officially gearing up for the most anticipated football season ever. Excited, nervous, terrified to your very core? Think of us as your emotional safe space. Always your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com to get started. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Hi, this is ESPN's Mike Greenberg, and ESPN Bet is ready to take you through all the biggest sports moments this spring. The official sports book of ESPN has exclusive offers and markets from Scott Van Pelt, Stephen A. Smith, and me. From the playoff intensity to finally getting out to the ballpark, there's no better time for sports fans. Sign up today and new users get $100 in bonus bets for making any sportsbook bet. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play.
Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have, because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Thursday edition of the program. Brandon B. and Bobby Carpenter. Mark the Shark. Your Columbus Crew did something pretty awesome last night. If you didn't stay up to watch it, fear not, I did. So we're okay on that front. Monterey jump out to a 1-0 lead, Bob, in this game. And you knew that they were going to press, right? I mean, it's 50,000 seat stadium. It was at capacity. It was rocking. It was going to be a tough task for the Crew to go in there and not give up a goal. What ultimately you wanted to do was like stave them off in the first 20 minutes and then kind of take control in the second half of like the first half of the game. That's kind of what you wanted to do. Well, those plans changed because in the first 10 minutes of the game, Monterey gets a goal.
Gosh.
Okay, now you're like, okay, don't give up 2 goals, because if you do that, then this might be a runaway for them and the momentum. So what happens is the Crew kind of take back the game a little bit. They're sitting there, they're doing the high press thing where they're getting some good opportunities, but anytime that Monterey gets on the ball, like boom, they're on a counter the other way. It's like, because the Crew know they need to get a goal.
Snip, snap.
Yeah, so I mean, it was kind of back and forth a little bit, and then Monterey kind of settled into the game, and it became just kind of a chess match a little bit. But anytime the Crew would give the ball away, Monterey would kind of go on the counterattack the other way. Now, the crazy part, what happened, it was right before halftime. I mean, no less than 30 seconds before the ref is going to blow the whistle. Monterey goalkeeper makes a save or gets the ball played back to him or whatever. He has the ball in his hand. Instead of just holding the ball and kicking it down the field and the ref blowing the whistle, he decides, you know what, I'm going to make an outlet pass, but he holds on to the ball for a little bit too long. Aiden Morris sees this happening. Fans are cheering for the goalie to go forward and like get a goal to like break the Crew's back before halftime.
Oh.
So Aiden locks in on the goalie, sees him getting ready to fall into this trap on a beeline. It's like a defensive back jumping a route for a pick six. He gets the ball about 30 yards away from goal. 2 defenders try to crash down. Goalie's off his line. Boom, shot, goal. Right before the half. Right before the half, which is 1-1, which is unbelievable because that means if Monterey want to win in regulation, they're going to have to score 2 goals. Yeah. You come out after halftime, after already kind of breaking their spirit, and Monterey were by far the better team in the first half, like a lot better than the Crew were. Second half, you come out, Alex Matan gets the ball into space, a little back and forth into the midfield. Ball gets played to Diego Rossi, 1-on-1 with the keeper, 2-1, within the first 5 minutes of the second half. Within the first 5 minutes.
Oh, you got them on their heels now, B.
Now Monterey are starting to press. They have to score at this point now, Bob. They have to score 3 goals. They have to score 3 in the remaining 40 minutes of the game. But you think, okay, crazier things have happened. There's still time for Monterey to get into this. And then it just became an unbelievable display of a death by 1,000 paper cuts. Monterey started to get aggravated. They started fouling the Crew. Crew players starting to go down a little bit easier. Refs starting to brandish some cards to the Monterey players. Fans getting into the game. They're yelling. They're screaming. And then just out of nowhere, an unbelievable ball over the top. Jason Russell-Rowe in the 70-something minute puts the Crew up 3-1. Dust your hands. See you later. We're going to the final.
Oh,
it was a great night. It was a great night.
Absolutely.
It's the first time that Monterey has ever lost a knockout round series to an MLS team. First time ever. They've won that cup 5 times. It's the first time they've ever lost a series to an MLS team.
It's embarrassing. I would say in jest, heads are going to roll, but you never know down there in Mexico. Yeah. The keeper made a bad decision.
He did make a bad decision.
Was a bad choice.
And after the game, too, I mean, they were laying into the ref. Shark, you were watching the game at the very end last night. I mean, it was a pretty gnarly scene after the game, too, where the Monterey players were screaming, yelling, pointing at the ref, kind of touching him. Other referees giving them red cards. In the meantime, I thought it was a great TV shot because you had the juxtaposition of the Monterey players at home who have never dealt with this before. Ever in their club's history. And they've won it 5 times, so, they are, the crown jewel of Mexican soccer. They're one of the big dogs down there. And so for them to be yelling and screaming at the ref, and then they pan to the Crew players, hugging, celebrating, laughing, high-fiving. I'm like, that...
High five!
It was such a wild scene, though, because I'm like, I don't know, man. Someone might get, a flying cleat to the chest.
I mean, do you think that this is how... Was it Louisiana or Louisiana State when they lost to Southwestern Louisiana State in the Bourbon Bowl? They lost to the Mud Dogs.
South SLLSU. That's Louisiana State? Remember when Bobby Boucher showed up halftime and the Mud Dogs won the Boyden Bowl?
Boyden Bowl. I mean, I feel like that's...
Southern Louisiana State, I think. SLSU, right? Yeah, that's what they are. The Mud Dogs.
South Central Louisiana. South Central Louisiana
SCLSU.
Yes. The Bourbon Bowl.
We were the Mud Dogs last night.
100%.
And instead of Bobby Boucher showing up at halftime, it was Aiden Morris showing up right before halftime.
Oh, gosh, this is good. The Cougars. And then they've got the Mud Dogs. I'm trying to think South Central Louisiana State University.
SCLSU.
Coach Klein.
How do you think this is going to shake out, Vicky? 52-49. Oh, it's quite the prediction. Prediction, that's just how it's going to be. So careful down there, Swanee.
I feel like that's how they view American soccer, probably Mexico.
Bob, their fans were just distressed. There's 50,000 people in that stadium last night getting ready to crown them. If they win, they host. They host the final.
Gosh,
and instead, you get beat on they've never been beat on their home field by an MLS team. Yeah, you go down there and do that to them.
Never lost. The LeVar Ball to the Americans.
Yeah.
They're thinking, hey, we've got the easier draw here. We've got the home.
We just knocked out Miami in the last round. We beat Messi here. That's something he couldn't do. He came down here. They faltered. They were a mess. The Crew, they were going to be easy.
He's South American. This means a little more.
He got that neck tat.
Just means more. Yeah, exactly.
He
more
means
neck
business.
tats. I think the whole Crew team needs to get matching neck tats when they win.
Of the cup.
Haslam's included.
Of the cup.
Nice neck tat right there on the right side.
Right between the back of the net and the Adam's apple.
Oh, yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah, if you win the cup, you definitely
feel pretty rough getting it, but yeah.
There was a great article that was put out by Henry Bushnell of Yahoo Sports, and I'll just read you the first couple excerpts of this because I think it's a really good piece. So the Columbus Crew were adventurous and brave, coordinated and confident. They were calm in the eye of a CONCACAF storm at the same steel colossus where Lionel Messi had faltered. They were underdogs at Monterey in the second leg of a gripping Champions Cup semifinal, but on Wednesday night, as most of America snoozed, the Crew rose to a challenge that even Messi and Inter Miami couldn't stomach. They beat Monterrey on the night in Mexico, 5-2 on aggregate. They became the first team in MLS to topple Monterrey, a Liga MX giant, in a 2-leg knockout series. They're on next month's CONCACAF Champions Cup final, where they're going to meet a third straight Mexican foe in Pachuca. They've rescued MLS from what, without them, would have been a mammoth, humiliating flop in this continental competition. They did all of this because in the 6 years since a snake-like owner tried to steal them from a Columbus and a grassroots fan movement saved them, they have become Major League Soccer's model franchise. It's a really good piece. I would go read it if I were you, but it was worth everything in the world to stay up last night and watch that game. It's history, man. And now you have a chance to do something that only Seattle has done in its current comprised situation of winning this cup. And what does it mean? $50 million if you win, right to your bank account. And it also means that you're going to be playing the big dogs of like Europe and the rest of the world if you're able to qualify for this thing.
Are the crew prepared to leave the MLS and join the Premier League? That's the question you're asking yourself.
Premier League branch division?
Yeah. They can start over there and just grind their way up.
I think they're
better than Everton.
Automatic promotion?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'd be pretty good. I mean, why don't we relegate Everton? I know your boy Hester would be upset about that, and then we promote the crew.
They've been cheating a lot. They're getting penalized.
A lot of points deductions this year.
So that's,
you with your Everton knowledge.
Listen, Beam, you know Soccer Bob.
I know.
Soccer Bob knows his soccer. You know what they say in soccer, Shark?
Do that soccer.
Do that soccer.
We're going to reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and a happy Thursday to you. Right now, if you're heading out, we are still watching crews clear up a disabled vehicle on the north side of town. This is on the ramp from I-270 eastbound to 23 northbound. Other than that, the rest of your central Ohio roadways are looking nice and clear. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
I just wanted to give a shout out to all the moms out there. Being a teenager can be tough, but I can't imagine how hard it must be to be a mom. You're always juggling a million things at once and you never get a break. That's why I think all the moms out there deserve a day of pampering at Kenneth's Salon and Day Spa. They work so hard and never ask for anything in return.
Celebrate your mom with a gift card from Kenneth's. For every $100 spent on gift cards, you'll get another $10 bonus card redeemable in June, July, or August. Get yours at kenneths.com or visit any Kenneth's location.
Ohio Mulch Landscape Supply.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and here's to Ohio Mulch celebrating 40 years of making the community a greener and more beautiful place, one garden at a time. Don't miss out on the opportunities to elevate your outdoor space and to be part of a journey towards the next 40 successful years. Check out our promotions online at ohiomulch.com.
Ohio Mulch Landscape Supply. Greener, greener, better.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the stuff outdoors you love, the stuff you want to do, the hiking, the running, the playing on the beach. It's being around friends and family. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. If you're tired of achy joints, you need to call my friends over at QC Kinetics before you agree to any risky surgeries or steroids or harmful medications. That's what tens of thousands of real-life patients around the country did, just like me with my knee. My dad did with his knee. Some of our friends and family who have done it with knees and shoulders and a variety of joints. They're out walking around now, enjoying the time outside. Or you could be like a guy like Chad, who wants to live life to the fullest, but his knees have been bothering him. He's been on pain meds forever. He went to crutches on his high school reunion, but that was before he found QC Kinetics, and now he's bouncing around like the pain is gone. And QC Kinetics has a national director in Dr. Mitchell Scheig, who's been doing this for over 20 years. So go check him out at 614-208-4544. That's 614-208-4544.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
At the end of every season, a coach evaluates his team. Just like at the end of winter, you should have your roof evaluated. Hi, I'm Bob McElligott for Schottenstein Roofing. Call the expert team at Schottenstein Roofing at 614-321-8888 or go to schottensteinroofing.com to get a free inspection of your roof. And if you need work done on it, don't forget, Schottenstein Roofing has unbeatable value and all of their work is backed for life. That in addition to interest-free financing options. Schottenstein Roofing, a proud partner of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Hi, welcome to the IKEA Spring Sale. Did you know that right now you can save up to 50%?
On bookcases?
Yep.
Office storage?
Yeah.
Ooh, something for the kiddos?
We've got you. Plus, IKEA family members get an extra 10% on select sale items.
Sign me up.
Don't miss out on the big IKEA Spring Sale. Visit your local IKEA store or go to IKEA-USA.com/offers now through 5/7. Offer valid 4/17 to 5/7. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store on IKEA-USA.com for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
I need directions for paying down debt.
Starting route. Apply for a SoFi personal loan and consolidate your debt into one fixed payment. Turn right into a positive outlook and get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign with no fees required.
Got it. You could get out of high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. View your rate at SoFi.com/debt in 60 seconds with no impact to your credit score. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/debt. NMLS 696891.
Looking to step up your Mother's Day flowers? The Home Depot has an idea. Let Mom's Green Thumb do some digging with colorful flowers, pots, and premium soils to bring out the most in her patios, walkways, and gardens. Right now, get Vigoro potting soil just $8.97 for strong, healthy, vibrant plants, indoors and outside. Shop our wide selection online and pick up your order in-store and give Mom the gift of a beautiful garden. Get Vigoro potting soil just $8.97 at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. See homedepot.com/delivery for details.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at some sunshine today. That'll lift temperatures from a cool start in the 50s this morning to the 80s by the afternoon, mid-80s. In fact, warmer than yesterday. Pop-up shower or storm will be possible this afternoon. Those chances drop tonight, but more shower and storm chances return Friday as temperatures again hit the 80s, cooling some by the weekend. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
Well, it's almost pool season.
Oh, God.
It was this weekend. It's time to go see my folks over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone hormone therapy game. They're just not here to optimize your testosterone levels, which is going to make you feel good and look good, hopefully, too. They're here for weight loss as well. That's right. Affinity can help you lose weight and alleviate symptoms that come with low testosterone. Affinity, they offer semaglutide injections for weight loss. You combo that with some TRT. You can say goodbye to low energy, low libido, and say hello to weight loss and muscle gain. Looking good. You can see shirtless Bob cruising down Bourbon Street, looking good and ready to rock. So go to feelgreatcolumbus.com now. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Watch shirtless Bob pound some mint juleps for the Kentucky Derby this weekend.
Listen, I love mint juleps. I wish I drank them more than once a year, but I feel like the fondness is the fact that I can't get it that much.
I totally subscribe to that because I feel like if you made mint juleps like every other weekend, then when the Derby weekend rolled around, it wouldn't be so special.
Yeah.
It's like I don't eat pimento cheese any other time of the year other than the Masters week. I'm like, yeah, boy, this tastes nice.
So you eat it to make you feel like you're at the Masters?
Yeah, 1,000%. That's why I drink mint juleps, to make it feel like I'm at the Derby. It's the same effect.
Never been to the Derby. Been to Keeneland. It was fun.
Keeneland's a world-class place.
Keeneland's better than the Derby. It's a nicer venue.
It is. It is. And I to be fair, I have not been.
I've never been to the Derby either.
I haven't been to Churchill Downs. I've been to Louisville. Louisville is a fantastic city. So Keeneland, closer to Lexington, Churchill Downs is in Louisville. So when we stayed, we did my bachelor party there. When we stayed in Louisville, took like a bus down to Keeneland.
How far is that? Like an hour and a half?
Yeah, an hour and change probably.
When you're drunk, it goes faster.
Yeah, I didn't care at the time. Asked the guy a couple of times along the way to make a pit stop so we could go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
a couple of times.
Just brought some empty Gatorade bottles.
Well, I think there may have been a situation like that unfolding, which is why we yelled at the guy to make a stop.
No, I mean, come on. It's the best of both worlds.
I think it was also the driver may have been yelling at us. I think it may have been the opposite way around.
Hey, as long as you can do it respectfully and keep it clean, keep it neat.
Yeah, we couldn't guarantee it at that point.
Well, that's true. I mean, I've watched a friend of mine do it in a bar, standing up while ordering a drink into a beer top, like not even like a Gatorade bottle. He's like, I need a wide mouth. It's a better situation.
That's awful. That is terrible.
Well, it's pretty impressive.
I would like to knock off the Kentucky Derby on my sports bucket list, though.
I think it's a good bucket list. Tomorrow, I got a little trivia. I was looking through this. I've had the Kentucky Derby stuff pulled up.
It's 150th running on Saturday.
Yeah. Did you know, Shark, that it used to be 1.5 miles and not just 1.25 miles?
I did not know that.
Yeah. I was looking at times because I'm like, who's the fastest horse ever? I'm like, well, just check the times. It's like track. You can figure it out. Now, the surface obviously matters some, and we have options of surfaces: fast, good, sloppy, muddy, slow.
Slow, fast.
I mean, hold on. There's one in here that it was like 5 years ago, 2017, 7 years ago. Wet fast, parentheses, sealed. Not sure what that even means.
I have no clue what that means.
But you go down, they have some better, they have some other better terms from back in the day. Muddy, I thought I saw one in here. Slow. Heavy. I don't know. What does that mean?
It's a great.
It's a heavy.
How does that differ than sloppy?
I don't know. That was muddy different than sloppy.
Heavy, yeah. Heavy conditions.
Heavy conditions. So
does that mean like heavy rain, but the track is dry?
Yeah, maybe that's just how they described it back in the 1800s. So, or late 1800s, early 1900s. So they've got that there. It's good, but fastest race all time, slowest race all time.
Secretariat's fastest in 73.
Do you know what the time was?
It was 1:59.4.
Yeah,
he is cruising.
Only time to ever break 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That was back in 1974, so it was 50 years ago.
73. What's amazing, though, athletes, human being athletes, we break world records, Olympic records every 6 months in the pool, on the track, and that thing
still stands.
Horses haven't gotten any bigger, stronger, faster.
Pump them full of steroids.
Yeah,
how are they not bigger?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they were doing that back in the day too.
I don't know. Maybe not to the degree. Maybe they didn't have the testing. I don't know. But you got to think. Were they really juicing them the same way 50 years ago? I mean, you're telling me the fastest time ever run was 51 years ago? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Big Red. Did you ever see the movie?
No.
Secretariat?
No.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
When was it made?
Oh,
like War Admiral.
15 years ago.
Yeah, War Admiral.
Everyone champions War Admiral because he had a massive victories, Triple Crown, everything. Only ran to 2:03.
Slow.
And it says a fast track, so you would assume the conditions there.
Well, and your competition changes every year.
And I get it if you're in a tight race, but Secretariat was like 17 and a half lengths or something.
Yeah.
It's like me racing Billy.
It's like me racing Billy with me being the field and him being War Admiral. I mean, he's just cruising. Have you ever been down there, Shark? Have you been down to the
Never
Derby?
have. Nope.
Okay. Why don't we take the show on the road there on Saturday?
There we go. Oh, I don't want to do a Saturday show.
Is it the Oaks? Isn't the Oaks tomorrow?
Yeah.
They run the Oaks
Friday.
Next year or tomorrow, if we're able to get our stuff together by then, let's just do the show from the Oaks. I'm sure that there will be no problems with that, us being able to do a show live from...
Showing up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Be out there with the jockeys. Be like the Memorial Tour. Be out there with the jockeys, warming up the horses. People brushing the track.
Having a couple of juleps on there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
smelling the manure.
That's good.
I love that smell before the sun comes up. Our daily fan poll is sponsored by ER Auto Care, masters of our craft. Today's fan poll at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan. What's the best thing about the Kentucky Derby? Races, juleps, ladies' hats, Bob Baffert's hair. Bob Baffert's hair for me, for sure. I mean, that thing is sweet. Other than that, I'll go with the juleps, though. Bob, I had so much fun today. What do you say we do it again on a big Friday if they allow us? You good with that?
I am. 64 miles from Louisville to Lexington, Beam.
Oh, we can get that done. Maybe we'll just go back and forth between Louisville and Lexington this weekend when we're broadcasting live from the Oaks tomorrow. Everybody have a great day. Uncle Bo and the boys, they're up next. We are back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and a happy Thursday to you. Right now, we're watching crews clear up a disabled vehicle over on the ramp from 270 eastbound to 23 northbound. No other crashes to let you know about across your Central Ohio interstates. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
This is a fan action update.
This action update is brought to you by Tipico. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. This just in. Ohioans love to bet on sports. The total sports betting money wagered in March for the state of Ohio was $809 million. That puts Ohio third on the list, behind only New York and New Jersey. The $809 million of sports betting in March puts Ohio ahead of Pennsylvania and Nevada, who round out the top 5. For your Tipico action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $200 cash bonus at BMI Federal Credit Union when you open a new free checking account. Visit bmifcu.org/free for more details.
Ohio, ready for some quick mental health facts? Let's go. Nearly 2 million Ohioans live with a mental health condition. In the U.S., more than 50% of people will be diagnosed with a mental illness in their lifetime. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide. So why are some of us still stigmatizing people living with a mental health condition when we know all of this? Let's listen to the facts and beat the stigma. Ohio, challenge what you know about mental health at beatthestigma.org.
At the James at Ohio State, you're choosing the experts who understand there is no routine cancer, where your care is delivered by a highly specialized team dedicated to studying and treating just one type of cancer, yours. And where 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer. All at the region's only comprehensive cancer center, designated by the National Cancer Institute. You didn't choose cancer, but the choice of where to treat it is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Sick of being upsold at gyms?
My guy, you're currently a base member? For $90 more, I can upgrade you to our Shred membership. For $130 more, you'll be a Swole member. And for just $300 more, you'll reach Sweat Platinum.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the upsell. Never pushy, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. It's fitness that fits your budget. Join Planet Fitness for just $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. See Home Club for details.
Whether it's baseball season, basketball playoffs, or hockey playoffs, experience it live this spring with Vivid Seats. With one of the most reliable rewards programs in the business, Vivid Seats makes it easy to score great deals on great seats with a 100% buyer guarantee. Plus, with Vivid Seats rewards, you can earn with every ticket purchase, including surprise seat upgrades, birthday discounts, free tickets, and more. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Hi, this is ESPN's Mike Greenberg, and ESPN Bet is ready to take you through all the biggest sports moments this spring. The official sports book of ESPN has exclusive offers and markets from Scott Van Pelt, Stephen A. Smith, and me. From the playoff intensity to finally getting out to the ballpark, there's no better time for sports fans. Sign up today, and new users get $100 in bonus bets for making any sports book bet. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play.
Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions